Ready to learn and thrive in a challenging atmosphere surrounded by great teachers and the most current technology. Notre Dame offers small class sizes, high academic standards, and spiritual fulfillment. At Notre Dame, we foster an environment of diversity and community. Students feel supported and more confident in achieving their goals. Our students learn from each other and are challenged to grow and develop their innate talents. Notre Dame is faith-based, but everyone is welcome. If you have higher expectations for your child, Notre Dame offers a higher level experience. If you're ready to launch your child's future into the most successful career path and build the next generation of leaders, call today for a tour or visit NotreDameUtica.org. Notre Dame schools, ready to learn, destined to lead.
If you're hiring, it can feel like you're trying to find a needle in a haystack. You can hope the right person comes along, or you can just use ZipRecruiter. And now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. In fact, ZipRecruiter has helped a lot of business owners find their needle in a haystack, like Marco, president of operations at Telly Tires and Auto Centers. Because Telly Tires has grown a lot in the last few years, Marco needed to hire everyone from a receptionist to a store manager to a head mechanic.
ZipRecruiter helps me find all the right people, even the most difficult jobs to fill. ZipRecruiter helps me keep my business running.
Take it from Marco and millions of other businesses who've used ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter can help you find the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/RADIO. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
Hi, this is Bill Cole from Gates Cole Insurance with exciting news. We are expanding with a couple of new offices in our area. One new location is North Country Estates Insurance in Lowville. They are another independent insurance agency that takes pride in making customers happy and fits our culture at Gates Cole perfectly. Here is William Schaub from the newest Gates Cole agency, North Country Estates Insurance in Lowville.
Working with us as an independent agent with this many companies, we will often call our clients and say, we're going to reduce your premium if you like. We have the companies that do well in New York and specifically this area. The coverages that we provide are commercial and personal insurance. That's the home, the auto, ATV, motorcycle. There's nothing more fun than taking care of a customer and being able to tell them that we're able to save them some money.
Proudly representing Finger Lakes Fire and Casualty Company of Trumansburg, New York. Gates Cole Insurance. We'll take care of you.
Keeler Show today. It's time to read the news and weather. Time to figure out what to say. It's time to turn the channel of the Keeler Show today. Why do we always listen? Keeler's always in the know. It makes me want to call him and tell him where to go. And now let's get things started. Andrew, let's get things started. It's time to get things started. On the most sensational, inspirational, celebrational, Keelerational. This is what we call the Keeler Show.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
Well, another nice day on the way, right? Is that what Craig Flint said? I have this attention deficit thing where when he gives the forecast, I'll start thinking about something else, and it'll be over, and I'll be like, darn it all, I missed the forecast. But I think it's another nice day today. Another beauty is on the way. Let's see. The Mets were off yesterday. The Yankees play last night. Did they play yesterday?
No, they play Baltimore tonight.
Okay, I want to get into this this story out of Onondaga County and with the migrants. It certainly took up a lot of our time yesterday, and Onondaga apparently went to court last night. Is that what we know?
Yeah. I know they're taking it to court. I didn't know they were in court last night.
They went last night. So it's the town of Salina supervisor who is stepping up and saying something has to be done. He's gone to Ryan McMahon, the county executive, and I believe it's the county that's gone to court to try to file an injunction to prevent this busload of migrants from coming up to Salina. And so what I didn't know is already two other counties have done this around the state, and both have been issued a stay. So while it's being deliberated.
Okay.
So they may, based on what's been happening around the state, they may be successful, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
And their whole issue here, of course, is that they don't have the funding. They don't have any idea what's going to be happening after this, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
To follow up on part of our conversation with Lou yesterday, he had said that Mayor Adams, offered to pay for something like for up to 4 months. But I find it interesting. He said that New York City got a $30 million grant, but he's estimating that over the next few months they're going to spend $4.2 billion. So, I mean, they couldn't cover that cost forever, and the federal government is only covering a part of what they've already shelled out so far.
Yeah.
Not future costs, what they've already paid.
Right, we don't know. Right, we don't know what's going to end up. What's the future? And I think that's a lot of the questions out there. But if you're the mayor of New York City, you're saying, how are we supposed to handle all this? We can't handle it all.
So, and here's the thing.
Maybe they can, and I don't know, but.
Certainly, Bill, I don't speak for you, but I think I understand your position on this. Let me ask, you don't have a problem with migrants coming to this country, right?
I don't, and I if these are people that are fleeing their country because it's war-torn, et cetera, I just think it's got to be done the right way, and that's not what is happening right now.
Right.
But we are in a problem where they're being shipped around the country. Something is going to have to be done. But this is just a huge problem that's got to be corrected.
So I completely agree with you. But I guess here's my question going forward. This is something that happens where thousands enter the country every single day. And in some cases, they get court dates that are multiple years down the road. Is this going to continue every day for the next 5 years? Where are they going to go, right, every day for 5 years, 10 years, 50 years? It's not like we're going to – I don't see this country saying, okay, we're full, we're not taking any more. I mean, at some point, don't we
And why are they shipping them to New York when
that's
the better
where
place
I think the
would be,
political end comes in, because it's
I
a sanctuary city, at least New York City is.
There's a lot of territory in Montana. There's a lot of territory even in Nevada. There are places where, set up places where there aren't already a lot of people. And I guess, because New York City's not that. But I don't know how we're going to correct this, but it has to be corrected.
And I think California's a sanctuary state,
and
right?
now we're beginning to feel it here.
Yeah.
So I get it where people are trying to be compassionate, but sooner or later we have to say we can't take any more.
I mean, with few exceptions, you go down to the train station, Utica, and the bus is running, right? Or the train is running. Is this like something that's now part of American culture?
No.
Every day the bus is running to some city to bring migrants.
But no matter where you are on this thing, I do think that that at least temporarily, Onondaga might have success going to court and stopping this bus. Now, what do? You stop it and you turn them around, tell them to go back to New York City? I don't know. But if you'll read in the story, which is up on Syracuse.com this morning, it says that 2 other counties in the state have already been able to stop these buses from coming in to their county temporarily. What happens after that, I don't know. Okay, I have a huge update here this morning. And if we can get Tom from Utica, Tom Laughlin, to call in. Tom, I'd love to hear from you, but are you ready? We have an update. We have an update. You remember it was the 200-year-old document.
That's great.
That basically was placed on top of a vehicle Their commander was leaving, was at Newport and heading to Verona, or Vernon, one or the other. And he left it on top of the car, he believes, and it fell off the car, unable to be found. They retraced their tracks. But I want to read the release here. This is from Sir Knight Thomas Laughlin. Minutes after sitting down to breakfast at a local diner with the rest of the Knight Templar Erie Canal Races Honor Guard, Utica KT Commander Stuart Card got a phone call with good news and bad news. Card's wife, Brenda, was on the line. The commander's face went expressionless as she described an article which had been given to her by a Mason brother after a last-ditch search turned it up on a Newport street. She described a metal item approximating the measurement of the lost cylinder containing the charter. If you recall, it was lost like a month ago, but it was no longer in a cylindrical position. It had been probably run over. But as transmitted cell phone photos showed, flattened without its end caps. Commander Card and the finder conversed in the presence of the assembled knights with the Mason brother. I love the drama as it's being written in such classic form. With Mason brother heard on the other end to say, "I'm not here for the money," after Card mentioned the reward. Insistently, Card replied, "Well, you name a charity," which the original reward offers had mentioned. The now warmed up and dried off Templars ready to leave the diner, but not before Commander Card noted the irony of having the DeWitt Clinton signed charter being found while the organization it created was performing duties at a race named for DeWitt Clinton. It has been found.
That's incredible.
And it does look like it has been run over. I have some photos here that we'll try to get up. I'll get up on the YouTube channel coming up in a second. It looked terrible, but I do think it may have protected the document. Now, they've included, I wonder if this is an actual photo, and I won't know till we get Tom on the line, but we'll grab him. For comment, okay, I can call them. Sorry, I didn't this was supposed to be held until 7:30. I'm sorry, Tom, I had no idea. I didn't see that part. I just got so excited with the release.
So
this was embargoed?
You gotta, the embargo's got to go on the top.
It is on the top, but it's on the top of the photos, not on the press release, which I read. So I didn't see that. Oh, boy. I've broken the rules.
So hats off to the person who found it who doesn't want the money, but, I mean, if nobody wants it, I'll take it.
This is very exciting, though. I mean, I thought this thing was gone. You'll take the money?
Yeah. Devin and I will go have a great time.
Laughlin's saying, "We now close this sad and unfortunate chapter in our bicentennial and refocus our efforts ahead to the rest of our 200th year and onward. The rainwater destroyed charter will be placed by, they're going to have to replace it, by a high-quality replica girded by the original charter's ribbon and lead Templar seal, which survived. The retrieved container will remain a revered relic in our home." I'm assuming the home of the... So you still have the... can I show you the picture?
Yes. Just don't show the public.
Right, because it's embargoed. Right, I'm so sorry. There it is. See, it's all flat. That used to be all rounded. A cylinder.
You know,
they had good pictures of the document, so they'll be able to recreate it. And then I think it's important to keep the cylinder, which got run over. It's important to keep the document, which has been somewhat destroyed. All of that is important to go along with this story that I'm sure the commander would like all of us to forget.
Yeah, and I guess there was a bad week where it rained quite heavily every day while this happened. But, I mean, for the most part, since then, it's been very dry. And if this was, on the side of the road, I would have to imagine that had it been wetter or we had more consistent rain, that it might have been completely washed away.
I can't believe somebody found it.
After this long, I can't believe.
After all this time.
Right. I'm shocked at that as well.
All right, I'm getting some calls. I'm so sorry we weren't supposed to talk about this.
Let me go check.
I'll just take it here. IBX, you're on the radio. Good morning. Good morning.
Hello, this is Embargo Lachlan.
Okay. All right. I am so sorry.
That's cool. It's all right.
I got so excited, Tom. I saw the email. I couldn't wait. I'm like, and then I go to the top.
Breaking news. Where's Andrew?
I go to the top of the email, and all of a sudden I read it says, "Please hold till 7:30." I am so sorry.
That's all right. I just wanted a card to give to wake up.
Okay, all right, fair enough.
Before he got assaulted by, not that you assaulted him, that he would start getting phone calls. Yeah, it melted.
It melted.
It dissolved. It. We were.
Oh my God.
We had slight hopes. 26 days outdoors.
Think about that. I thought it had been about a month, and it's almost been a month. Wow.
Yeah, and it was a nasty one too. So
yeah.
But I did 20 when I was chairman of the 175th anniversary celebration.
Wow.
In 98. And I decided I was going to get a copy of the dadgum thing.
Boy,
and
that's
done
so.
at Russell Roads.
Yeah.
And got it done, and we've kept it. We were thinking about getting, and I didn't remember that I had the copy, on my computer. I went back through it. Says, oh, good.
Wow, that's
so we
awesome.
printed out a copy and had it laminated so that we could take it around to the different places and show it. But now it really looms pretty large.
Yeah.
We also, while I was looking for, just to make sure somebody hadn't, had a complete misdirection about what they'd done with it, I went into the safe and, snooted around, and we found a cylindrical container, exactly the same material and everything else as that one was.
Wow.
And I found a scroll of signatures that was at least 9 feet long, ancient.
Wow.
Quill pen kind of stuff.
Yeah.
That was in there on the same kind of material that was that the charter was made on. So at least we have those signatures from way back when. We've got the copy of the charter, and we've got a couple of events under our belt this year that the Boilermaker Erie Canal races treated us like honored guests. We had a great time out there, even if it was a little wet, a little cold.
Yeah.
But Mark Donovan and Jim Stastitis were great, and we were very proud of it and of what we've been doing. And it's onward. We're going to have we're going to be appearing at St. John's Day on the 24th of June. All kinds of stuff coming up.
Well, and I got to tell you, Tom, you have we're speaking with Tom Laughlin, and this, if you recall the story, this document from their charter, which dates back to which year?
1823.
1823. So this is,
it was
of course,
signed
a special
in New
year.
Hartford at the home of,
Well, I'll let you think about that. The document was lost. It was being shown. It was put on a car. These things happen, especially with people who are taller. Because they can actually reach the top of the car.
how many times have I lost things off the top of the car?
Listen, I've driven.
Oh,
I have driven down the road and seen people with coffee cups on their cars. I mean, it happens. So
Richard Sanger was the resident of New Hartford whose house they met in. He was, a relative of the founder. It was Sangerfield then.
Yeah.
And then Whitestown, and now New Hartford, and he was our first commander. Yeah, we've had a heck of a time. The people of the area are really enjoying the idea of the 200th anniversary. And since Utica Commandery ceded every single commandery to the west of us in New York State, and since Albany had a 200th anniversary the Albany Commandery, capital city, had an anniversary 19 days after we were. We made the whole thing a celebration of Knights Templar in upstate New York. So
that's cool.
We just put it out to make everybody happy and part of the whole scene.
Well,
listen, and thank you for your help.
Well, listen,
we appreciate it.
I feel like it was important for us to all get the word out, and but I have to say, you have an amazing story. That when I realize that this is, and Tom, you know how media works because you've worked a good part of your career dealing with promotion and media, but it takes a story like this to turn it into a big story that it wouldn't have been sadly, the 200th anniversary, the bicentennial, wouldn't have been such a big story without this mishap.
Well, yeah, and the other thing is we're letting DeWitt Clinton lead our celebration rather than trying to make it, just Utica Command. We're saying DeWitt Clinton's founding of, the Erie Canal, us, and just kind of jokingly, I mentioned the Erie Canal as Clinton's his other great achievement in upstate New York.
Well.
So, listen, thanks very much.
All right,
and,
Tom.
Now we get to take a deep breath. We've gotten closure, but now we got to not have closure. We got to open back up again and blast out on another round of activities. Thanks, Bill.
Okay, Tom. Thank you so much.
See you later.
Have a great day. We'll reach out to the commander after 7:30, but that's a great end. I mean, it's not the perfect ending, but having the materials that they now have in their possession adds to this story tremendously.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Wow. Some comments here this morning. Let's see what Rob is sending me. Who is this? Oh, this might be the, is that on Fox News? Yeah, it's the, what's his name? The from Salina, the town supervisor was on TV.
Paro.
Earlier this morning. Donna says they don't come in right, go through proper channels, have vaccines, full exam at their expense. They don't complete papers and pay thousands like my daughter-in-law has. They don't. If they don't come. So she must have someone that came in from another country and followed the procedure properly. I get that, and I don't think they should be coming in this way. And I think we have to find a way to secure the border, whatever that is.
Yeah.
That we have to do it, but we've been talking about it for decades, right? We keep talking about how we have to do it. It's just become cliche. But the problem we have is now these people are here, and the government has let them into the country. Something has to be done with them, and I don't know where. It's like a landfill. Nobody wants a landfill in their backyard, not to compare them to a landfill.
Well, now we're going to get hate mail.
Yeah, I'm just saying. That's where we're at with this.
So, and Mark says, good point on the vaccines, COVID-23.
Yeah. Yeah, what was that? There was a story that went out that that NYU has their commencement ceremony at Yankee Stadium, and all students got a notice that said, if you're feeling ill, make sure you get tested. There seems to be a rather large outbreak of COVID. Here we are in 2023, and it's still happening. Now, it's not killing people, but it is, it still shuts people down.
Yeah, it does. So, again, at some point, though, this becomes, hey, I woke up, my ear's full, I got a runny nose. Well, you might have a cold. So what?
Yeah.
Right? Doesn't it become that at some point?
I guess, maybe. I hope. Maybe,
I hope so, too.
Maybe we're there. Maybe we are there. But, there's still people that get it, and just like you get the flu. But the difference is people, while people are dying, I say that nobody's dying, but people are in far more rare cases. So it's not what we were dealing with before. That's a good thing. So, you get a large group of people. They all pile into Yankee Stadium. They're all celebrating, hugging each other. And all of a sudden, they get a COVID outbreak over the weekend. NAACP issues a travel advisory. We're talking about a third world country? Tanya J. Power is on the line right now. Where are we talking about? This travel advisory. Don't drive through where, Tanya?
Florida.
Florida. Oh, wow. Oh,
yeah,
boy.
This is This is a travel advisory done by the NAACP, and they have joined two other groups who've already called for travel advisories to Florida. We may have missed those in the news, but this is actually the third one to call for it. They joined the League of United Latin American Citizens, as well as Equality Florida, which is a gay rights advocacy group. They've already done this, so now the NAACP makes the third group to make this distinction.
Well, Florida is a beyond, the beautiful beaches, Miami, Orlando, Disney, Universal, all of that stuff. It is pretty rural, Tanya.
Well, I mean, it depends on what part of the state you go to. I mean, you've got you've got the Panhandle, which is to me a seemingly completely different area than like the rest of the state. They're very different.
And then, of course, you have the rest of New York, who's retired to parts of Naples and where else in Florida.
So what's the issue again with the state? What's the policy that's...
Well, this all stems from the policies in school. They don't want certain racial issues that from our past they don't want taught in schools, and of course there's the thing they call don't say gay. I think that's all part of it wrapped into one, right?
Yeah.
And what about the Latin group? What's the fear for Latin Americans?
In the warning to Hispanic travelers, the group cited a new law that keeps local governments from providing money to groups that issue identification cards to people who are in the country illegally and invalidates out-of-state driver's licenses held by undocumented immigrants.
Okay.
That's the reason that they had already issued theirs. So yeah, this is in direct result to some of the different things that have been done.
A lot of this sounds like political BS to me.
Well, this is all very political, and I feel that when I say all, both sides, very political. I wonder, though, Tanya, DeSantis, of course, we kind of know has he announced officially? I know there was an announcement that he was going to announce. Has he officially announced? It's been the longest announcement I've ever seen for president. But
it is a truly long announcement.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that everybody's been like, it's going to be soon. He's going to announce that he's going to announce, and then he's going to definitely announce. Who knows? I mean, it has not been done yet, as I'm aware this morning.
But I got to say that if what he's doing right now politically in Florida seems to will work for a potential primary, although he still trails President Trump in a potential primary. It's going to be very hard to take these policies, which he has passed, and get the rest of the country to get over the hump to be able to become president to win a general election. I would think.
A tough needle to thread because he's got to court the Trump voter without alienating the Trump voter, because he shares the same base that Trump does.
Yeah.
And they are still extremely loyal to Trump. I mean, I think a lot of them maybe see DeSantis as a good second.
A liberal. He's a liberal. Believe me.
A good second. Yeah. Maybe not.
And, but he's also got to. That's great for a primary. If you're hoping that something happens to the front runner and you're going to succeed him and get their base, but at the same time that's also going to be to me it seems like a tough thing. If you're only running for second place, then this is a great strategy.
Yeah.
But if you're actually hoping to become the nominee, what are you going to do to set yourself apart from the person that everybody, in the base loves and not make them mad at the same time? That's going to be an interesting political feat to do.
Yep. I find it's harder to thread that needle as my eyes get worse and worse as the years go on. I mean, I can see far away, Tanya, but that close-up stuff, tough to thread that needle. And a quick
happens to the best of us.
And a quick update. I know you have 15 seconds. In Onondaga County, they have gone to court trying to block that bus of migrants coming up. And I believe that 2 other judges around the state have issued an injunction, at least a temporary hold on buses coming upstate. It'll be interesting to see what comes out of this legal proceeding, which was filed last night.
It will. Thank you. I appreciate that update. I'm keeping an eye on that story.
Have a wonderful day, Tanya. Thank you.
Okay. You too.
Tanya J. Powers from Fox News. Okay.
I thought she got the. I love Tanya. She's great. I'm not poking fun, but I think I mix up my cliches sometimes. I thought she said you got to needle the thread at one point, and it was thread the needle, I think is what she was looking for.
Oh, is that so? Rob says, what policies has Biden done since 2020 to win again? Rob, come on. You should know this like the back of your hand. He's not Trump. That's it. I don't know that there are any.
Where's my bell?
I don't know that there are any people out there that like, go Biden. Or what is the phrase?
Let's go, Brandon.
Let's go, Brandon Williams. But I just I gotta say I don't think it has anything to do with Biden. They'd love another candidate, but it's just not going to be Trump. And I fear that the more policies like this, when it comes to abortion, when it comes to the gender issues, it's just dividing that nation. That needs to be accomplished in order to win a general election. So
yeah,
I don't know how Biden even makes it through another campaign, to be honest. But he's the guy, and so is Trump. I don't know how Trump makes it through.
I don't know what's going on this morning, if it's going to be a full moon, but we are like lockstep in opinions this morning. Everything that's come out of your mouth, I 1,000% agree with.
I said today I'm going to come in. I'm going to give the same opinions as Jeff. And then I'm gonna. How was umping? I mean, you're still umping. Things are going really well in the umping world.
Yeah. Why, did you hear something?
No, I have, and people have sent me pictures. You look like you know what you're doing out there.
Well, that's good. It's funny because a couple of people sent me pictures as well, and as I like to say, I look like 10 pounds in a 5-pound bag. But we're working on that.
I think it's all good. Did you see the story? This is a huge story this morning we haven't even gotten into. Did you see that the Supreme Court, the United States Supreme Court, has tossed the convictions of Steve Aiello and Joe Girardi? Do you remember all the ZD stuff? We got to come up and get some ZD and all of those cases. Caballeros,
yeah.
All those have been overturned.
No.
Yeah.
Why?
The U.S. Supreme Court overturned the 2018 convictions of the Syracuse area business executives, Steve Aiello and Joe Girardi, who were accused of bid rigging and other crimes related to state development projects. Remember the guy out in Buffalo with the Buffalo Billions who ended up going to jail. Most of these people have spent time in jail, but based on technicalities, based on the case, in some cases, the Supreme Court has said that there should have been no case against them because based on who they were and what they were doing, they didn't violate the law. And by the way, it was a unanimous decision by the Supreme Court, something we don't see in America these days.
Yeah, they never agree on anything.
But that's a big move.
State Supreme Court or U.S. Supreme Court?
U.S. Supreme Court.
Oh, my goodness.
This happened yesterday, overturning the convictions. Caballeros, I believe, his conviction was overturned last week. That was pretty quiet. So interesting story. Tom Brady in the news. The greatest quarterback of all time, they say, has now bought an interest in the Raiders of Las Vegas. Davey, you're bothered by it? It's just shut up, right? I don't want to hear it.
Yeah, but it's not going to affect his $325 million deal with Fox.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess it probably wouldn't, right?
He had to get approval from Fox to become a minority stakeholder in the Raiders.
And he got approval.
Approval.
Carmelo Anthony has decided to hang it up. He is retiring.
When was the last time he played?
He's my favorite Syracuse player of all time because he brought a championship in 2003.
Yeah, with Boeheim. It'll be the last one.
Yep.
The only one.
When was the last time Melo played a game?
Suited up for the Lakers.
When?
Last year?
Yeah, I was going to say, it's been over a year since he's played.
officially has retired.
Okay. He was at the Knicks checking out a lot of their playoff games when we made that little run.
He leaves as the 9th all-time lead scorer in the NBA.
And
still no assists. No assists in the NBA here.
This story that you had this morning about the beer beating, like what the heck was that?
So it's okay. Essentially, this was two gentlemen driving down the road.
One of them is homeless.
Yes. So,
but has a vehicle.
Yes, that's my understanding. This came from the Oneida County Sheriff's Office.
I seen this on my way in on Sunday. I didn't see the beating, but I saw the car and the guy walking on 49.
Oh, you saw him walking?
I thought it was just some
Halloween
car broke down.
Yeah. He was bloodied though. Did you see him?
I just saw him from a distance when I passed the car.
All right.
Yeah. So they were apparently they're acquaintances. This wasn't like a hitchhiker situation. The sheriff's office says they are acquaintances. The, quote, victim, while they were driving, made disparaging remarks. It enraged Castaneda, according to deputies. Yeah. Pulled over. Castaneda, it says here, who says that he is homeless. So I don't know. I've never seen that where they say, basically, the person we arrested says he's homeless.
Yeah.
But so it pulled over the vehicle. They continued to have words. Both men got out of the car, and essentially a fight ensued. I don't know if one brought the issue to the next level, but it resulted in deputies say Castaneda pushing the man to the ground, choking him, then hitting over the head with a beer bottle several times, and then that man was seen walking in the middle of the road on 49, which is incredibly dangerous between River Road and 291, which is right near us.
So, and if I'm correct, there would be no DWI because they didn't apprehend the person until after he had gone. I guess it wouldn't be home if he's homeless. But where'd the beer bottle come from when you're driving down the road?
I don't know if they were taking bottles and cans back.
No,
I don't know.
It's possible.
I don't know what the deal was.
Disney World has decided to close down the only 15-month-old Star Wars-themed hotel, the Galactic Star Cruiser. While reviews raved about the immersive experience, the cost, they say, was just way too much. It was around $5,000 for a 2-night stay, so $2,500 a night to stay there. That is closing. Today is National Taffy Day. Does anybody eat taffy anymore?
I don't think so.
No.
Do you know what taffy is?
Not really.
Davey, you're a taffy fan.
I usually buy some at the state fair. You know how they had that big assorted chuck.
Rolls right at you. Buy that stuff.
Yeah.
All right. Devin, you have no idea even what it is.
I mean, I've heard of like saltwater taffy and like seen it, but it's not my go-to. Not something I'd pick up.
Okay. Probably not me either. It gets stuck in your teeth and all of that. It's just that's what you have to deal with.
If you run out of, I used to call it as a child blue stuff. It's almost like a tacky tape, almost like a rubber sticky, almost like a gum type product. That's a great use for taffy if you want to hang a poster on the wall, but you don't want to put a nail up. Put a little taffy on the back.
It will take the paint off, just for the record.
Yes, it will.
Okay, the American Film Institute has made a list of the 100 greatest movie quotes of all time. Any idea off the top of your head one of the great movie quotes of all time?
There's Clint Eastwood's something along the lines of, "You ever check a man's throat before you hang him," or something
whatever
like that.
That is. Yeah. Did he say, "Go ahead, make my day," or was that never said?
That was I think that was said.
Make my day.
There's a famous movie quote that is always misquoted. It has to do with. Oh, I'm struggling with this now. It's they name somebody and then.
Well, either way,
Go ahead. What do you got?
Of course, there's "Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn." Isn't that a big one from Gone with the Wind? If that's real. And
wait a minute.
Adrian. That
Yo,
was a
Adrian.
biggie. Yeah.
Hasn't Gone with the Wind been banned? Didn't we say there's?
I don't think so.
It was banned on Netflix or something for months.
Here's your top 5. Rounding out the top 5. Here. Oh, this is a good one. This goes back to 1942. Here we go. Apparently, it's not going to play.
Here's looking at you, kid.
Here's looking at you, kid. Humphrey Bogart. Number 4 on the list goes back to 1939.
Toto, I have a feeling we're not in Kansas anymore.
Yeah.
What about nobody puts baby in the corner?
That's a good one.
That was a good one. I don't think it's on the list, though. Here's number 3 from 1954.
I could have been a contender.
That's a good one. Coming in at number 2 from 1972. I think we'll agree with this one. Number 2.
I'm going to make him an offer he can't refuse.
That's a biggie. And here is the number 1. Dating back to 1939.
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
There you go.
I don't even know what that's from.
Gone with the Wind.
Yeah.
You got to watch that movie.
So HBO Max did temporarily pull the film from its streaming services in 2021 because of painful stereotypes of people of color.
Right.
What about... go ahead. Move on.
Here's Liberal Lou. Hi, Lou. Good
Hey,
morning.
Lou.
Hey, good morning, guys. So in response to Rob, Joe Biden has been the most successful president we've had as far as the first 2 years of legislation since maybe you got to go back to...
I know they...
Jeff, you're laughing. So, Jeff,
now you can hear me. Now you can hear me?
That Biden has passed, apparently. You're not familiar with the infrastructure bill? We've been trying to pass one. Presidents have been trying to pass one for 40, 50, 60 years.
Can I
since
say
Eisenhower.
I am absolutely...
McCarthy,
now he can't hear. He can hear me laughing.
That alone stands out as an incredible accomplishment.
I am very familiar with the infrastructure bill. I've been waiting in traffic for months over it. It's driving me nuts.
That was
Everywhere
a good thing.
you go,
I'll give
there's
Lou. That's a good thing.
That's not the only bill.
Go ahead.
He passed a gun safety bill. You know, not a great game changer, but it was a bipartisan bill. And it was a success. You look at his semiconductor bill, tremendous success. China is destroying us in the semiconductors. They're going to have a monopoly on this. Biden is the guy who made the move and passed a bipartisan bill again, the CHIPS Act. It's going to help us up here, up north. I go on and on. The Inflation Reduction Act.
Oh, the one that increased inflation. The inflation reduction.
We have to do something with the IRS. You talk about deficits; they're not collecting the money they should be.
Well, that's
collecting.
not that.
It's tremendously been defunded in the past 10 years.
But that's being
every commissioner of the IRS who's alive says yes, this is mandatory. It's going to make this country billions of dollars.
But isn't that
picking up taxes that we're losing? Also, of course, the first major act by any president as far as global warming is concerned. I know a lot of your listeners don't believe in global warming, but of course they're delusional. It's an important bill.
I love you, Lou.
It's a first-time bill.
Yeah.
Ukraine. What has he done in Ukraine? He has given tremendous support to that country. I don't think Trump would have done it. I like to compare. I like to ask Rob what Trump did. I know Trump had one tremendously major accomplishment.
What about
as far as legislation.
What about Lou?
That was his tax cut.
Lou.
Disaster.
Lou.
He promised that it was going to pay for itself.
Now I know he's purposely not stopping.
There's over $2 trillion to the debt. Donald Trump increased our national debt by 40%.
Listen, what about...
Republicans want to somehow blame it on Democrats, which is just false.
What about Afghanistan? The pullout of Afghanistan was very, very bad.
Brutal.
Okay, let's look at the Afghanistan pullout.
I hate to say this, but I'm almost up to your favorite newscast coming up.
So the question is what should he have done? You say he should have removed everybody prior. Is that what you're going to say?
Well, I'm saying I don't know because I'm not a military strategist, but I don't have to be to say that was horrible the way it happened.
But it would have happened. It was a no-win situation. It would have happened.
I disagree with that. I think it could have been done better, but I'm almost out of time.
Let me explain to you.
Yeah. Your favorite newscast is coming right up here.
Biden and pled with him not to arrest
WIBX,
of his
Utica, Rome
staff and bring them back to the United States.
Okay.
He said if we do this, it will mean
drama outside the White House late last night. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Somebody drove a U-Haul truck into security barriers, and the Secret Service says it might have been intentional.
That driver's been arrested. There were also concerns about what may have been inside that truck. Hotels in the area were evacuated as a remote-controlled robot pried open the truck's rear door. Reuters says a Nazi flag and a backpack appeared to have been recovered from the vehicle.
That's Fox's Jill Nato earlier in the day at the White House. Another round of debt limit raising talks ahead of a looming potential June default.
We're optimistic we may be able to make some progress because we both agreed default's not really on the table. We got to get something done here.
President Biden met again with House Speaker Kevin McCarthy, who's demanding spending cuts be attached to any increase in borrowing.
We literally talked about where we are having disagreements and ideas. So to me, that's productive. Not progress, but productive.
North Carolina's Democratic Governor Roy Cooper has declared a state of emergency to try to stop North Carolina's Republican-led legislature from passing a bill promoting school choice. TikTok is suing Montana over its ban on the social media app set to take effect next year. TikTok claims it
violates the First Amendment, various other laws, and is preempted by federal law. The suit says Montana's law fails to cite any evidence that the Chinese government can access American data or that TikTok exposes minors to harmful content, and that such national security concerns are regulated by the federal government anyway.
That's Fox's Jessica Rosenthal. In the NBA playoffs, the Denver Nuggets advanced to the finals for the first time in team history, completing a sweep of the LA Lakers 113-111 to win the Western Conference title. Now, LeBron James' attempt to tie the game at the buzzer fell short. Then the Lakers star hinted at possible retirement after the game.
But I don't know. I got a lot to think about, to be honest.
America's listening to Fox News.
Hey, you've heard me talk about Henry Repeating Arms and their incredible line of 200 rifles and shotguns. This company's owned by a family of true patriots who are so dedicated to our country that all of their products are made in America or they are not made at all. And they're also so loyal to their customers that they provide award-winning customer service. And by the way, they back their firearms with a lifetime warranty. Now, Henry makes a line of tribute edition rifles. You got to check these out. I love them. They honor the unsung heroes who serve our great nation, including active military, veterans, law enforcement, and sheriffs and firefighters and EMS, and so many more. Now, you can check them out for yourself. Go to their website, henryusa.com/tribute. And there's the Henry's Deluxe engraved limited edition rifles that are the crown jewels of any collection. Once an edition sells out, it's gone forever. Go to henryusa.com. You get a free catalog. You get free decals and a list of dealers where you are. That's henryusa.com. Free catalog, free decals, and you're going to love these firearms.
We have mostly clear skies and 47 degrees. WIBX News Time is 7:03. My messages are blowing up. I'm getting messages from every medium that I have right now after that liberal Lou call. We'll get back to that in a second. WIBX News Time, 7:03. And this news update is brought to you by Clinton Tractor, the leader in service, celebrating 70 years in business, 3 generations and counting. You can visit them at clintontractor.net. Well, Onondaga County has filed a lawsuit against New York City in an attempt to stop migrants from being brought upstate. The town supervisor in Salina, Nick Parro, says he was told over the weekend that a bus with migrants on board would be headed upstate to the Candlewood Suites Syracuse Airport Hotel. The county's lawsuit claims that New York City only has the authority to house migrants in its own boroughs and not upstate. County Executive Ryan McMahon has already issued an emergency order banning such transfers. A similar order is in place in Oneida County. A dispute in a vehicle between a driver and his passenger turns physical and has resulted in a homeless man being charged with attempted murder. The initial dispute occurred as the two were traveling on Route 49 in Marcy. Remarks from the passenger, which are being labeled disparaging remarks, apparently enraged the driver, 32-year-old Henry Estuardo Castaneda. He pulled over and confronted his passenger. Authorities say the two are acquaintances. It's alleged that when both men got out of the vehicle, Castaneda pushed the passenger to the ground, then choked him and repeatedly hit him over the head with a beer bottle. He's now charged with second-degree assault and attempted murder in the second degree. The victim was treated at a local hospital for cuts to his head. The name of a 21-year-old man who was killed in a car crash in Oneida County over the weekend has now been released. State troopers say Russell Lazarek was traveling on Steuben Valley Road near Post Road in Trenton on Sunday when his vehicle went down an embankment and rolled over multiple times. Lazarek ended up being ejected from the impact. Anyone who may have witnessed the crash is asked to contact New York State Police. And the New York State Fair opens in 3 months. 3 months from today.
I heard you say that just and it kind of makes you feel like summer hasn't even started yet, and you're already talking about the fall. What are you doing?
All right, well, when summer comes and then when it ends, they're going to have a state fair. They call it the Great New York State Fair, and a member of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame will perform. Ann Wilson of Heart will be taking the Suburban Park stage on Wednesday, August 30th. Wilson will be joined at the show by her backing band named Trip Sitter. You ever heard of them?
I have not, no.
This year's fair starts on August 23rd and runs through Labor Day, which is September 4th. Expecting another nice day today. Not summer yet, but we can't complain with the weather we've seen over the last couple of weeks. Here's what we can expect today.
I'm Eyewitness News Chief Meteorologist Craig Flint in the WIBX Weather Center today. Mainly sunny, warmer, brief passing afternoon shower. Best chance near and south of the Thruway, high of 79. Tonight, partly cloudy, mild, low 57. Tomorrow, mild early, then turning breezy and colder as showers and thunderstorms develop by afternoon. Temperatures falling into the 50s by evening. For more near local forecast, tune to Eyewitness News at 6 on WUTR. I'm meteorologist Craig Flint on WIBX 950 at 106.9 FM.
We have mostly clear skies and 48 degrees at 7:07.
And for sports, I'm Devin Furpo. Let's get into it. The Denver Nuggets have punched their ticket into the NBA Finals for the first time ever. The Nuggets came back from a 15-point halftime deficit to take down the Los Angeles Lakers 113-111 in Game 4 of the Western Conference Finals at Crypto.com Arena. Nikola Jokic set an NBA record with his 8th triple-double of the postseason after totaling 30 points, 14 rebounds, and 13 assists. To lead Denver to the 4-0 series sweep. LeBron.
They were down. I'm sorry, I do this all the time. I interrupt. They were down by 18 points or something, or maybe 12 points. And they opened up the second half with a scoring frenzy and took the lead within 4 minutes of the third period. I forget they played 4 quarters there.
So I think as Devin continues sports, I think you should just continue to talk in the background about things that may or may not be true.
I could do that. Let me check to see if he's still there. Lou, are you still there? Oh, we lost him. Lou, I had no choice. I try to tell people because the Fox News overrides the board. It just takes it from me.
Lou, please call back because I want to get into some stuff from the nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office.
All right, continue with wrap up your sports.
All right, LeBron James paced L.A. with 40 points, 10 boards, and 9 assists. In the losing effort, the Nuggets advanced to face either the Miami Heat or Boston Celtics. In the finals, Miami will host Boston for Game 4 in the Eastern Conference Finals tonight with a chance to sweep. The Panthers are knocking on the door of the Stanley Cup Finals. Florida beat the Hurricanes 1-0 in the Sunrise to take the 3-0 lead in the best-of-7 Eastern Conference Finals series. Sam Reinhart scored the game's only goal on the power play halfway through the second period. Carolina hopes to avoid the sweep in Game 4 from Sunrise on Wednesday. Meanwhile, the Golden Knights are only 2 wins away from making the Cup Finals. Vegas aims to take a 3-0 series lead when it faces off against the Stars in Dallas tonight.
Okay.
A pair of divisional rivals from the AL East begin a 3-game series tonight. In New York, the Yankees are hosting the Baltimore Orioles in the Bronx. The Yanks took 2 out of the 3 games from the Birds in their only other series this season. New York enters tonight's opener on a 4-game winning streak, and it's third in the AL East at 29-20. Baltimore won each of its last 3 games and is second in the division, 31-16. Garrett Cole is expected to get the start against Kyle Bardish. And lastly, we got the Mets hit the road hoping to extend their winning streak.
They've won 5 in a row.
Yeah, to 6 games. New York opens a 3-game series against the Chicago Cubs at Wrigley Field. Right-hander Kodai Senga is expected to get the start for the Mets. He'll be opposed by the Cubs lefty Drew Simley. New York is currently second in the NL East with a record of 25-23. That is sports. WIBX news time is 7:09.
Right, two things. Showalter, did he mispronounce the one? Well, you got it right. You got it all good.
I missed it.
Showalter, the New York Post is reporting that even though the Mets are winning right now, Showalter's on the hot seat. He may be in trouble.
Well, you can't have the most expensive team in baseball and be underperforming the way they are right now.
Now, let's see where this goes, though.
Yes.
I mean,
this could be the start of something beautiful.
He's got him winning. And then the other thing is when you open. So, what's your opening line on sports? What's your opening line?
I said,
let's get into it.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm
started
Devin
with,
Furbo.
let me hear the whole thing. It's like you're starting over. Ready? Go.
Let's get into sports. I'm Devin Furbo.
Devin Furbo.
This is
sports. Let's get into it.
Let's get into
All right. Now, when Howard Cosell, I used to love listening to him because he's all personality, right? And when he would open up, it would be, it would not just be, this is Howard Cosell. It would be, this is Howard Cosell.
That's good, yeah.
Right? So, and speaking of sports, so when you say it, put a little gusto into it, as if you're talking to somebody that just angered you maybe, or you're really, really excited. Let's try it again with a little oomph. Okay, ready? Here we go. Are you 21?
I'm 20. I'll be 23 in July.
Give him a shot of Mad Dog 2020. That'll get him going. Davey, pull it out.
Go grab it.
I want the grape version.
All
oh,
right.
my God, I could never taste that again. Bad night in college. Okay, here we go.
All right, I'm Devin Furbo, and this is sports. Let's get right into it.
All right, that's good. I think
That's
you're
better. We're improving.
Yeah. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Howard Cosell would be proud.
By the way, a couple of moving quotes in there. This could
Yeah.
be the start of something beautiful.
I have the full 100 list of all of them, and there are a lot that didn't obviously get into the top 10.
One more. The one I was thinking of that's often butchered because it's said out of order.
Can I guess what it is
Yeah.
that I think you were thinking of? Luke, I am your father.
You are on fire
but
today,
that's
Bill.
not the line, is it?
Yeah, that's not the line.
The line is. We don't even know.
Who knows?
Yes. Father am I, Luke. Father am I. No?
No, I think he addresses him as Luke, says a couple things, and then says, I am your father later, or something like that.
Luke, I'm your daddy. Who's your daddy?
Here we go.
Luke?
This is from Chuck Lister. Liberal Lou.
Liberal
what
Lou.
country do you live in?
Hello, Lou. Is that you?
I'm back.
He's back. You know that I have to hit news at the top of the hour.
Yeah, I realize
Yeah.
that. I get going and go right through the news, but I could still keep going on.
I would
about
only-
Biden's accomplishments.
I would
don't
only-
know. Lowest unemployment in going back 70 years, 3.5%. Horrible record this guy's got. The best record of any Western nation when it comes to the inflation.
The economy is.
No,
the
stop.
economy
Come
is.
on, that's
listen,
not true.
The economy is absolutely. Our economy is extremely strong right now. But you know the unemployment thing. You can't take. Listen to me. Just listen for a second. You can't cherry pick numbers from Trump to make him look bad, and then cherry pick numbers that make Biden look good. A good example is the unemployment rate. Now, while the unemployment rate may be very, very low, that's because people have left the workforce. We have so many openings, we can't fill these positions. So there are a lot of problems in this country right now. But I guess I'd say this. If you talk to most Democrats, I don't think any of them are enthused about Joe Biden running again. He's slow. He doesn't have the speech pattern that he used to have. I mean, I still think he can win because of the vote that hates Trump. But I just and some of the other issues that Republicans have stepped in, including going too far on abortion. They just, you won. It should stop there. They continue. These states continue to go. All they're doing is bringing out people who've never voted before. I just feel that's what could happen in a year and a half. But you can't be enthused about Biden running again. Who would be enthused?
Well, I am enthused because of his policies. I mean, I agree with you.
This sounds like a Trump supporter.
With youth, they want a young, dynamic JFK person. Of course, politically, that's an enthusiastic thing that people are going to come out and vote for. I want a guy who gets results, who does things, and I'm making the point nobody could have accomplished what this guy did, especially in bill passage and in running the country.
But what about the border? The border issue is worse now
It
than
was just a brain sitting in a chair. I would prefer to have that than anybody else.
And that is exactly the Democratic mantra right now. It's like anyone but Trump, and it might not be just Trump, based on a lot of this anti-transgender, anti-gay stuff, and the
their
abortion
mantra is
issue.
anybody but a Republican.
Those issues are really big with especially the younger demo who normally doesn't vote, but it inspires them to get out and vote, is what we've seen during the midterms. So
No, you're 100% right. He's not inspiring people who want a youthful presence. You know, that he's been around for 100 years, and a lot of people are turned off by that, but I'm not. I'm turned on by the fact that he knows Washington better than anybody. He knows how to get things accomplished. He's a good friend of Mitch McConnell's. He's a good friend of Lindsey Graham's. He can get things done. He is the only Democrat who could have gotten these bills through and gotten Manchin and Sinema to go along, because he knows how to do it.
Yeah.
And he knows.
Well, you know, Manchin and Sinema, they're both considering moving over to the Republican Party.
No Republican could have come close to passing it. But Republicans don't even want to pass these bills.
Yeah.
They just want to get in and cut taxes for the wealthy. That's what they want to do.
Okay, well, see, you are as negative on one side as the opposition is negative on the other side. It's just
I think it's a negative based on truth. What did Trump do in his 4 years? He takes his one great accomplishment. Well, look, I'll give him props. We definitely should have gotten out of Afghanistan. That was a smart move. The way he did it was a disaster. Everybody said Pompeo just gave the Taliban everything they wanted.
You know, the average Trump supporter, and I'm not talking about the feverish loyalist. The average Republican will say, you know, I just wish he would kind of keep his mouth shut, but I loved his policies.
What policies?
Republicans loved the cutting of taxes. At the time, the economy was booming. The stock market was booming.
It's nothing. Every economist knew it was not going to be a boon. Giving cuts to the wealthy corporations is not what's going to spur the economy. It just doesn't happen. Hasn't happened under Reagan. Didn't happen under Bush. It's just a lie. It's just he's getting tons of money from these special interests, and he's giving them favors.
Right. I appreciate you calling back, Lou. Most people who are listening right now don't. I just want to be honest with you. What would you say if
I'd love to discuss the issues with them.
Discuss.
What did Trump accomplish?
Okay, we'll do it again, though. I do appreciate the fact that you're out there, Lou. I do.
Well, Bill, I know you're skeptical, but I don't know why. I wish you would just point to one thing I said and say, look, this is not exactly correct. Trump's tax bill was a success. Biden's bills are going to be failures. They're harming the country. He doesn't have a great record. I mean, what are you seeing that I'm saying that's not true?
And I am out of time. Lou, thank you, man. I appreciate
Thank you.
it. You have a great day.
Hey, bye-bye.
I try to be respectful of all, despite all the complaints that came in yesterday. You know, and I do want to go back to the part where I like people who like or tolerate me. Who don't I like in the world? I don't like people who don't like me. Is that wrong?
No.
You know, that's a whole deluge of complaints came in yesterday from one group. They were organized, so they were all coming and calling for me to be fired, and yeah, it was awesome. Like, bring him in, bring in more. This is
can
awesome.
we talk about this?
I just did. That's as far as I really want to go with it. But you know, and it's all over. It's just all over this this constitutional caucus, and you know, I mean, you watched the school board. Now, last night was to meet the candidates. I hope
right. And I've got news on that. By
I
the
hope
way.
things went better last night than the school board. The school board was clearly an ambush. Would you agree with that? And a fiasco. It was a.
I thought it was a fiasco. I thought other candidates were ambushing certain candidates.
But would you say that it would be a logical conclusion, knowing who was whatever his name is, Piacentino, knowing that he was one of the moderators, would you say, considering he's with the Constitutional Caucus, that Celeste Friend, who is a left liberal, should probably be cautious going into that scenario?
Yeah.
That was the conclusion that I had. But apparently everybody took offense to that. So, and I've invited them to come on. All you got to do is come on. I mean, Lou comes on. Lou won't stop talking, for God's sakes. I have a ton of comments. Start with some of yours, and then I got a break.
Okay, so if I can just quickly say, I love listening.
Rob says, does Lou have an electric car? Well, I'm sure he does, Rob.
Lou, I love you too, man. I love when you call in. I love listening to you. But just two things. I agree with him on some of the Trump stuff, but the Congressional Budget Office. This is not undisputed. Congressional Budget Office on the Inflation Reduction Act. They said it actually increased inflation. And I'll just leave it at that. I could nitpick and cherry pick and go through 50 different things. I've got comments here. Ann from Rome says, my 401k certainly misses Trump. Chuck Lester weighing in here. What country does Lou the liberal live in? My Facebook's blowing up. We've got app messages galore.
Bill said it's bizarro world. That's what Bill said. And I listen. You know the part that you'll never ever know. What would Trump's full administration look like without COVID? What would Biden's administration look like without COVID? COVID played a huge role. What would both of those administrations look like without the supply chain mess? Without the employment issues that we have in the country? A lot of these things happen. When Trump was president, the Russians were trying to drive down and the Iranians were trying to drive down the price of oil to put our oil companies out of business. Guess what? We reaped the benefit on that. We were paying, at one point, gas got down below $1. Look where we are today. So you can look at it, and at the end of the day, whatever happens with the president, it's on their watch, right? If they're president when it happens, it's on their watch. It's just the way it goes. So I, would have, could have, should have, will never, ever really know. But at the end of the day, it's what was happening while they were in office. And Trump has his stuff, and Biden certainly has his.
Matt says we could put up a farm animal behind a Resolute desk and we'd get the same results. Chris in New Hartford.
Well, and that farm animal probably would beat Trump because of where the majority is in the country in a general election. And I don't think most of them care whether Biden is alive or not, or half alive or whatever he is. They'll vote for anybody but Trump.
Dawn and a few others saying that they think Lou is delusional. And then a couple more on the movie quotes. Now, I had said that there was one that's often misquoted, and they get the name wrong, where the placement of the name is John, Ralph, and who else? Frank, all messaged in to say that they thought the line was, play it, Sam, or play it again, Sam. But what I was thinking of was the Luke, I am your father.
Luke,
now,
I am your father.
Know Casablanca off the top of my head, so how I would know this.
I got a bunch of these I'll get into in a second, but I'm way behind. Let me take some calls. And first of all, I want to tell you about the Omni Surgery Center. If you're dealing with severe pain, there is help out there. It's Dr. Hyder in the Omni Surgical Center. My dad had debilitating back pain and is now in recovery mode after seeing Dr. Hyder at the Omni Surgical Center. In his case, it was not surgery. It was an injection, which relieved the pain, which allows a person to be able to sleep and to be able to recover. The pain doesn't go away. It's so hard to recover. And, it's how we get in trouble with medicines. If there's an opportunity out there to relieve the pain, it's nothing short of a miracle, I have to say. And the opportunity is there. Go to their website, killpain.com, the Omni Surgery Center. It's located in the Utica Business Park, and on French Road is where the surgery center is. Dr. Hyder and the Omni Surgery Center in Utica. Sal, but I cannot believe we're already talking about high school baseball playoffs, but we're already here. Good morning, Sal Barbero. Good morning.
Good morning, guys.
So, yeah, well, listen.
It's a quick season, right, Sal?
It's Memorial Day. We're coming up on Memorial Day already.
Yeah, high school is only 8 weeks long with sectionals. That's all it is.
Right. Yeah.
And when you consider it seems even shorter because they start in right after this year was right after Easter. So it's like that second week in April, and then you get some rainouts, right? So the season is underway when in many cases we are looking outside going, the weather's gloomy. When's it going to turn? When is it going to turn? And then all of a sudden we get nice weather and kids are playing every single day because they're making up from rainouts in the first 2 weeks.
Right. Correct. Yeah. Like I went to Florida. I got back on Easter Sunday, which was April 9th. And my first game was April 10th. So maybe a week, 10 days after that was rainy and, a lot of rainouts. But, Jeff, last 3-4 weeks, we've been going almost every day.
Every single day. And I love it. I'm not complaining.
The beautiful thing is that if you're an umpire today, there's so much baseball going on after high school from travel ball to the local teams to Babe Ruth and American Legion, all that stuff. You're busy all summer long, right?
Oh yeah, our season, and I told Jeff this a few times. It's not even close to being over with all the summer ball there is. Like
Right,
you said,
right.
I mean, you got Little League, you got travel ball, you got your 14U, 16U, 18Us, you got your Junior Legion, Senior Legion. There's another younger Junior Legion team this summer, and fall ball too. So yeah, there's a lot of baseball left to be played.
How are they running the playoffs this year in high school? I mean, if I recall, we had one year, maybe it was COVID, maybe it was all the rainouts, whatever it was. They just let everybody in the playoffs.
Yeah, and I believe they're doing that again this year.
Okay, all right. So a lot of games, and you could get hot. You could get hot late in the season, and all of a sudden,
absolutely. And like you said, today starts the sectional, so we'll see.
Okay. All right, Sal, we appreciate it. How's Manaski
Where are
doing?
you-
We're hearing great stuff about him. Like he's
not from last night.
Oh boy.
No, Jeff, I tell you, and I've given Jeff a compliment. He's for a new guy, rookie. He picks up the phone a lot and asks a lot, calls me a lot about rules situation and mechanic situations, and that's good that a rookie does it. It means that he cares and he wants to get better. And I think we're working again tomorrow, so it'll be our third or fourth game together, and he's done pretty good. He really has.
Thank you, Sal. I really appreciate that. I also want to thank you for kind of staying on me about getting into this, because I didn't know how, if I would enjoy it or not, or if it would be a good fit for me. I'm loving it. From this end, I know there's another side of that, and that's the kids and the players. I'm loving it. I hope they enjoy, are at least happy with what I've done. It's great. I would encourage people to do it. If you, at one point in your life, I've kind of fallen back in love with baseball. If you at one point in your life loved baseball, I think this is a great way to get back into it. If not umping, go and coach somewhere, because I know they need some coaches as well. It's awesome. I love it. I really love it.
All right, and sectional ball getting underway for high school. Sal, we appreciate it. We'll talk again as we get through this these very important games.
All right, guys.
All right, man.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
And he's a great resource. I mean, there are situations where you think you know the game, and then all of a sudden, of the 270 pitches you might see in a night, something happens on a play.
Yeah.
And you go, wow, I prepared for everything, but I didn't think this was going to happen. So, afterwards, sometimes I'll call and I'll follow up in a clarification on a rule, or if this happens here. And Sal is he's been incredible. I mean, he's got over, I think, 22, 23 years experience, and just to be able to just pluck a situation in a scenario and call him up and throw it at him, and he's got an answer. And I just appreciate him and all the other guys who have been helpful to me throughout my first year here.
Pretty wild. Dr. Kent Hall standing by right now from MVHS. Doc, good morning.
Good morning. How you doing this morning?
Good. We were talking about COVID 2023 earlier this morning, and there was a graduation in New York City at Yankee Stadium, and the release just went out. Hey, if you're not feeling well, get checked. There seems to be a pretty big outbreak of COVID-19. So it's still there, but it's not having the drastic effects that it had on us 2 years ago.
Right. We're not getting people who are so sick that they need to get to be in the hospital or things like that. But people still are getting infected. So. And there is still the vulnerable population that we need to make sure that we are protecting. So it's really a matter of just being cautious. We've talked about this a little bit over the last couple of years, is that, we used to, if you were sick, you had a runny nose or a low-grade fever or something, you'd still go to work and stuff. And I think that our mindset has shifted now, where if you're not feeling well, then the best thing to do is that's a day to stay home and not be around other people where they might get infected.
Boy, that is a completely different mentality of what it used to be like.
Yeah,
right?
That's very true. I know personally, I used to come to work, when people said, "Are you crazy? Why are you here?" And now it's like, no, I'm going to be a little smart this time.
Well, you were thought of as being really loyal and a hard worker and dedicated. Now it's like people get angry when you come in. And I don't care if you have a cold. It doesn't have to be the flu or COVID. I just, you don't want it. You don't want to be sick.
Yeah, this is the pendulum kind of moving back and forth, and we'll get to a steady state. I think from a public health standpoint and from an infection prevention standpoint, that we should be a little further toward, not exposing people when we're sick than we have traditionally been. And hopefully that's where we'll be, but we'll see. In 5 years, who knows where we'll actually be standing.
And then I just want to ask you, because it is in the news and it's something that is affecting upstate New York, and that is these migrants that are coming over the border and the southern border, which really did not affect us previously, but now it seems like it is, as they seem to be targeting upstate New York to place busloads of these people. We don't have any place to put them, and they're coming by way of New York City. Somebody brought up this morning a very good point, and that is these people are basically coming in after traveling in horrible conditions from South America. They're coming in without their vaccines. They're coming in without being vetted medically. This is a great way to be transmitting something or the next COVID that we don't need right now.
Yeah, so, I get where people are coming from, and I'll be honest with you, when the Afghan refugees were coming in year before last, my son, who is an active duty Navy physician, was actually down in New Jersey, and they had set up a whole process to medically screen people to make sure that they weren't acutely ill and needed care, and also to try and get them up to speed in terms of their disease prevention, infection prevention, whether it's vaccines or whatever. And I think that, if we're going to see an influx of something like that, then it would be good for us to set up a similar process. It obviously didn't have to be as intensive as that. That was a huge endeavor. But I think that, to protect that population and to make sure that we are screening people to make sure that their health is good is really very important, and ultimately, protects the entire community.
Yeah.
So that would be a good thing for us to do.
Two things I just want to get your take on. We're going into Memorial Day weekend. A lot of people will be, it looks like the weather's going to be fairly nice. It's the beginning of the camping season. People out, sleeping in tents, sleeping in wherever, out in the woods. Two things to be worried about, I would think. Make sure you're taking proper care. That would be mosquitoes and ticks.
Exactly right. So both mosquitoes and ticks carry diseases that you do not want to get, and so certainly protecting yourself as much as possible. I will tell you, this past weekend I was up in the Adirondacks and I was in the woods, and I was, I used the appropriate mosquito and tick repellent stuff, and I also was, tucking my pants into my socks and making sure that my arms were covered and stuff. And I still came out with mostly black fly bites, but I still came out with some. So, being very diligent. I will also say that some of the folks that I were with, at least two of them, after we were out, they would go back to the hotel and they would check themselves, and two people found ticks on them. So,
wow.
You need to be diligent about it.
Does it seem that there are some people who are susceptible to ticks, and others, I don't know, the ticks are not attracted to those people?
I believe that that's probably true. I don't have any hard evidence or data on that, but just knowing the way that physiology is, ticks are attracted to things. I mean, they kind of hitch onto you because you're walking around. But whether they actually decide to take a meal or not, there are a lot of factors that we don't fully understand about, what it is about somebody's, physiology, their biochemistry, and their, whether it's the chemical makeup of their sweat or something else, that may be more attractive to some ticks and say, oh, this one I'm going to try and take a meal on, whereas others are like, yeah, I'm going to pass on this. So, yet to be determined. I'm sure that there is some kind of a tick specialist out there that may be able to give, a lot more interesting and concrete information. But I got to believe that that's probably true, yeah.
I got to say that Julie has the line of the day this morning. She said, "You mean like a tick magnet?" But I believe it's true. Like, my son will go out, and every time he comes in, he's got another tick.
Really?
It's like, I don't understand why they are attracted to him. It makes no sense to me. And then one more, Doc, before we let you go. Speaking with Dr. Kent Hall from MVHS, the Surgeon General has come out. This is kind of an interesting warning. I don't know if you saw it, but saying that social media presents profound risk of harm for kids, although he does admit that there is a lack of research. And what they're saying is the lack of research into the damages. I would say there's probably a lack of research into what kind of damage as well, because that should be taken both ways. But your thoughts on that and how parents should be very careful with their kids when it comes to social media?
Yeah, so social media is very powerful, and it is not nearly as regulated or understood as it should be. And so exposing kids, just on that alone, if you had a 10-year-old or a 12-year-old and they were going into an environment which was hugely powerful and had unknown consequences, as a parent you would be very conservative in terms of watching to make sure what was going on and stuff. We are not there when it comes to social media. We don't understand the risks. We think about some of the benefits in terms of it's another way to socialize and stuff, but the reality is there are so many downsides that we do know, and many more that we don't know. Plus, the forming of kids' brains and the ability to get hooked onto something, and many of the likes and things like that release dopamine, which is a transmitter in the brain, similar to what happens when people get addicted to drugs or alcohol. And so we need to be aware of that potential effect, and make sure that we are taking care of this younger population.
And this is happening to them. It can happen to adults, but this is happening to them when their brains are developing. That's where this becomes, I think, most problematic, right?
Yeah, and this is the thing. So, I get where the Surgeon General is coming from, and the X factor here is, what are going to be the effects in 20 years? When these kids are in their 30s as opposed to in their teens, and what is the impact there? And we just don't know.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
and we won't know until we get there, because social media has been around for 10 years, give or take, maybe a little bit longer, but really became embedded just in the last decade. So, this is a social experiment, and and we need to be aware that it is a social experiment. So,
Dr. Ken Hall, thank you so much as always. We appreciate it. Have a wonderful day, rest of the week, and Memorial Day weekend. Thank you.
Sounds good, everybody. Please have a great day. Please be safe.
And pull those socks up. Stay away from the ticks.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Dr. Hall.
Thank you, Dr. Hall. I continue to be flooded with messages, not only about Lou, but other things that we talked about
I'm
so
going to get
far
into this
hour.
movie thing coming in a second.
The movie thing?
I got to call my wife, because she's got a movie thing that I want to. It'd take 2 seconds. I'm trying to convince her. I'm calling. So, Allison, I'm calling.
Can I?
It's coming. I cold calling her is never good.
No,
not for me.
No.
So I'm giving her warning.
Can I just mention 2 things quickly? They're baseball related, and then we can move on from this. This was sent to me this morning. Utica, New York Little League. I believe this happened last night. A perfect game. 12-year-old Trenton Olmsted threw a perfect game in an 8-0 win for Padula Roofing. It took him just 65 pitches to complete the feat. He struck out 16 kids and fielded both balls put in play to complete the perfect game with 18 assists. He was in total control from start to finish. Congratulations, Trenton. What a terrific accomplishment. So hats off and congratulations to him. I also want to mention Something I forgot to mention was Sal was on the air. This is in the vein of Joe Load. But Sal also does, on the side, he does some detailing of automobiles.
Oh.
And the reason I know is because he did my buddy's truck. And I was like, you got a new truck? And he's like, no, I didn't. I'm like, that's a new truck. And he goes, no, I had this guy do it. And I'm like, it's Sal? I know Sal. So I didn't even know he did that, but I'll give you his number quickly if I can. And that's 315-735-0145. It's a good price. He does amazing work.
You always want your umpire to be paying close attention to detail.
Bing. 315-735-0145. This must be a dream because we agree on everything this morning. I don't know what's going on here.
I'll find something I'm sure that you won't agree with. The Move to Mazda sales event is going on right now with Ricky Z at Steve Ponte Mazda. And listen to this. You can enjoy 2.9% APR financing up to 36 months on new 2023 Mazda CX-30s, CX-5s, and CX-50s. Enjoy 0% APR financing up to 36 months on new 2023 Mazda CX-9s. Rick says, come in and let's make your deal on a new Mazda. The Move to Mazda sales event is going on right now from the dealership that's achieved first place nationally in customer satisfaction. It's the way they treat people. It's Steve Ponte Mazda, Commercial Drive in Yorkville. All right, so I'm going to get into this movie thing coming up in a second. I'm going to make the call in a second. But before we get to that, let's do our free money question of the day. Chance for you to win $100. We had 2 winners last week. Let's go out of this week with a couple more. Let's start it right now. I've got a great question coming up, and Davey is all ready to let us know which caller we are looking for. Davey, caller number what?
4.
You are so engulfed in that iPhone. You can't take yourself away, can you? You love it.
Yeah, because I'm still trying to learn it.
He's still learning. Yesterday, he had Siri doing all sorts of stuff for him.
Yeah, thank you, by the way,
Yeah.
after helping me afterwards.
Well, I know her pretty well. Yeah.
And I just want to say something, and I can vouch, and Jeff
Okay.
did a phenomenal job. He did my nephew's game about less than a week ago, right?
Yeah,
Jeff?
that's right.
About
and
a week.
He did it alone. He did a magnificent job.
Very nice.
Thank you, buddy. I
What caller
appreciate
are we
that.
going with, 6?
And I'm not brown nosing because you're my friend. Just you
Yeah.
did a great job.
That's
and
very
even my
nice.
nephew, I don't know if my nephew's supposed to talk about the umps, but he said your buddy did a great job, Uncle Dave. And we
Very
would love
nice.
to have
Thank
him
you.
again.
Very nice.
Number 4.
Number 4.
So,
all right.
Caller 4.
Are we going with caller 4?
Yeah.
I
caller
thought you
4.
said 6. Okay. All right. Was your nephew's number 4?
No, my nephew's number 15.
Okay. All right. So number 15 is always safe going forward. Okay.
okay.
All right. Number 4. We're going with the 4th caller now. 315-736-0186. Call right now. Your chance to win from Hobica and WIBX. We'll do it next.
A Mohawk Valley tradition returns on Friday, June 16th, when the WIBX Heart Radiothon goes live from Accelerate Sports. Doctors from radio sponsor Slocum Dixon Medical Group will share ways we can stay healthy. You'll hear from treadmill challengers as they face off against each other, and Red Cap ambassadors to America's greatest heart run and walk will remind us why we support the American Heart Association. Of course, there'll be special incentives to thank you for your donations. Be sure and tune in Friday, June 16th.
Mountain Man Outdoor Supply is excited to announce the return of the 22nd annual Adirondack Paddle Fest. After a 3-year hiatus, this highly anticipated event will return to Mountain Man Outdoor Supply Company on Route 28 in Old Forge, Saturday and Sunday, June 3rd and 4th. Show hours are 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Saturday and 9 a.m. until 4 p.m. on Sunday. There will be over 3 dozen top manufacturers and more than 1,000 canoes, kayaks, and SUPs from leading manufacturers, as well as hundreds of accessories to choose from. Representatives and designers will be on hand to help you decide what's best for your paddling needs. The wait is over. The Adirondack Paddle Fest is back. Join us Riverside, June 3rd and 4th at Mountain Man Outdoor Supply Company. Come kick off summer at the Adirondack Paddle Fest. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram for all your local outdoor needs.
For over 70 years, the Community Foundation of Herkimer and Oneida Counties has worked to build a vibrant region with opportunity for all. We're dedicated to meeting community needs through immediate and long-term investments. With donor support, our nonprofit partners create lasting impacts that will continue to change lives for the better for years to come. Find out more online at foundationhoc.org. We're your community foundation.
I can't take this kitchen any longer. Carl, we need to start looking for a new house.
Honey, you know the housing market is tight. It's going to be next to impossible to find something that we like.
I know, but this kitchen has to go.
Hey, what about a home equity loan from Adirondack Bank? We can turn the equity from our home into cash to renovate, just the way you want.
Renovate?
Adirondack Bank has competitive rates, and they've been a trusted community bank for decades.
A new kitchen. Wouldn't that be awesome?
Yeah.
Then, of course, we would need new furniture, and we could repair the deck, even add a pool, and take that trip to Italy that we've always talked about.
Whoa, slow down, honey. Let's go talk to the experts at Adirondack Bank about that home equity loan. Then we can decide where to start.
I've always wanted to add on a craft room, and our bathroom needs a facelift.
Don't move. Improve. Stop into your local Adirondack Bank branch for more information on a home equity loan or visit AdirondackBank.com. Bank local with Adirondack Bank, your hometown community bank. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Hello, I'm Joanne Moskal, Chief Operating Officer for Hospice and Palliative Care. At hospice, we often hear that caregivers think of hospice as giving up, but what they are really doing is giving their loved one the opportunity to make the most of the time they have together. When a patient is appropriate for hospice, they've already been diagnosed with a terminal illness. You are not giving up on your loved one. Instead, you are increasing their care by compassionate nurses to ensure they remain comfortable throughout their disease. We want to know what is most important to you and what a good day looks like to the patient and to you. Together, we will design the care you want on your terms. We often hear, we wish we had called hospice sooner.
Hospice and Palliative Care, servicing Oneida, Herkimer, and Madison County. Middle Settlement Road, New Hartford, 315-735-6484, or visit us at hospicecareinc.org. Hospice and Palliative Care. When you need us most.
The Falcon Clinic in Washington Mills is accepting new patients. My dad has also been going to the Falcon Clinic with Dr. Shemolewski and Dr. Zielinski. Thorough examination, getting to the bottom of what ails him and what he's been going through. And I just have to say, you could not ask for a more thorough examination. He's kind of like the person that can figure out a puzzle, Dr. Shemolewski. When you're having an issue and you can't seem, you go from doctor to doctor, you can't seem to figure it out, then there's Dr. Shemolewski. And the use of the osteopathic approach plays all the difference in the world because your body has to be in tune. It can't be all medicine. You have to recover, and your body has to be able to recover as well. That's the theory, I believe anyway. It's certainly the theory that's worked for our family at the Falcon Clinic in Washington Mills, accepting new patients right now. Dr. Zielinski, Dr. Shemolewski, Dr. Kosminski, everything from acupuncture, counseling, family practitioner, and that puzzle solver in the medical world, Dr. Shemolewski. Call today, 315-507-4751, the Falcon Clinic in Washington Mills.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
All right, let's do our free money question of the day from the Hobeika Law Firm. Joseph and Andrew Hobeika at 315-724-1600. And here he is, ladies and gentlemen, the winner of all contests. He's usually really good. Rob in New York Mills. Hi, Rob.
Hey, Bill.
All right, you ready to go?
This isn't Rob who was weighing in this morning on the presidential stuff.
Different
Okay.
Rob.
Okay.
This is Rob in New York Mills. Keep track. Okay, here we go. This is movie trivia. Because I'm on this movie thing with these movie lines. All right? Are you ready?
Yeah.
Name the year this famous line was used in a movie. Here's Johnny. Ready, go.
1976.
The movie was The Shining, Jack Nicholson. And believe it or not, and I didn't realize this, but The Shining was in 1980. I thought it was in the 70s. I would have said 76, 77 as well. But it was 1980. Here's Johnny, or however he said that in a crazed fashion. All right, that's it. Rob is like, screw this. I'm done. I got it wrong. I'm out of here. Okay. I'm sure that we just dropped him by mistake. Anyway, Davey, hook him up with the Utica All-in-One Food and Fun card. Good at Aquavino, Babe, 72 Tavern and Grill, Taylor and the Cook, and the Adirondack Bank Center concession stands or Nexus. Also, Cookies, Q and Creamery. Today is Tuesday. It's 2 for $2. 2 for Tuesday. Now, they're playing on the 2 for Tuesday thing, but I've had everybody yesterday. It's like, well, why isn't it just $1 hot dogs? Why don't you say because that doesn't fit with the 2 for Tuesday theme.
Correct.
Get it? So it's 2 for Tuesday.
2 hot dogs.
Two
for
hot
$2
dogs
today.
$2 today at Cookies, Q and Creamery in Utica. Go on in and use the food and fun card. Get 25 of them.
You know what's great about the food?
And also over here too, Davey. Right? It's open over here at the Palm Springs.
Yes,
is that what it's
I was
called?
told specifically to go over there and try that one to see how it was.
Beautiful, beautiful.
And it's a card. It's an actual swipe card, right? It's a gift card? Is that how
For
it
now
works?
it is. Yeah, I think we're switting to paper. But yeah.
Okay.
All right. I did say, now, Davey, am I able to just call through and it'll go through, you think?
Yeah.
Let's try it.
This voice over IP is really great. We randomly hang up on people all the time, and I hope it doesn't happen to your wife.
I want to get into, I'm not sure it's going to work. Oh, it is. This is my wife. I'm reaching this morning, getting ready for work. And we had an event filled last night.
Wow.
Good morning, Allison. Good morning.
Oh, dear. Hi.
Yeah. So I just thought that because we're going to get into this movie thing, and I've lost it here. We're getting into this movie thing, the greatest movie lines of all time, and number one, I believe, is one of your favorites. Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn. You love Gone with the Wind. You're a big Gone with the Wind fan.
Yes.
But what are some other of your favorite movie lines? Do you have some other favorites that you would remember?
Oh, my God. This is too much pressure.
No,
You should have prepared me for this.
on the list from 1982, number 15 on the list is from the great movie E.T., E.T. Phone Home. That's one of your favorite lines.
Okay, yep. E.T. Phone Home, yep.
Okay,
Yep,
do it.
okay.
Do it.
Oh, I'm not doing
No.
E.T.
She is E.T. I'm telling you. She sounds, it's the only
doing
impression,
that.
it's the only impression she can do. She can do E.T. Now do it. Come on. You're going to love, I'm telling you, you're going to close your eyes and be like, oh my God, I'm watching E.T. right now.
Don't make it sound like it's awesome because it's
All
not
right.
that good.
It's terrible. Okay. Your students will love this. All right. They're all big E.T. fans, I'm sure. Okay.
My
Here we go.
word.
Here we go. My wife doing an impression of E.T. because he wants to go home. Here we go.
Okay, ready?
Yep.
Ouch.
That's all you have?
That's all I got. I just have ouch.
That's pretty good. Yeah. That is pretty. Doesn't he say?
He doesn't talk much.
Yeah, but he did say E.T. Phone Home. Try it in that voice.
Oh, okay. You want me to do E.T. Phone Home?
Yeah.
Oh,
Here
no. Okay.
Here we go.
That's
Here we
a
go.
lot. That's a lot.
It is. I realize. The ouch was phenomenal, I got to say.
Yes.
All right, here we go.
Okay, ready? E.T. Phone Home.
It's really good. I didn't know you married E.T.
Yeah. I wanted someone I was taller than, and it's worked out. It's really worked out for us. So,
Oh my
all right,
God,
Allison,
so
nice.
dumb.
Say, yeah, you nailed it. I'm going to tell you, you nailed it. You nailed it.
If you see
All right.
someone riding down the road, riding down the road in a little basket on the front of a bicycle, just know that's Mrs. Keeler. Okay.
On her way to school. Okay. All right, Allison, have a wonderful day.
All right, yeah, you too.
Okay.
Have a good
my
day.
wife. And yeah. That was pretty good, right? I mean, it's pretty darn good.
It really was.
Devin, even you thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, they're coming out with a remake, right? Like, starring your wife.
They might be using her. They might be using her for this, I believe. All right, I was going over. So you had a bunch. This is the American Film Institute's put out a list because they're realizing there aren't any movies being written right now. So how do we distract people? They put out a list of the 100 greatest movie lines of all time. And while the top 5 list I think is pretty good, there are many that didn't make it to the top 5. Like, Go Ahead, Make My Day was a biggie.
Yes.
Do you remember the movie that was from?
Dirty Harry?
No. Sudden Impact. Might have been a Dirty Harry movie, but it was Sudden Impact from 1983.
Anne from Rome says, I'll be back.
I'll be back. I think that might be on the list. That's a legendary with Arnold Schwarzenegger. And that was what? The Terminator?
Yes.
I'll be back. Or something like that. Let's see. This is another good one. I'll have what she's having. That was at the deli in New York City in the movie When Harry Met Sally. That was a really good one. Davey, do you have a favorite? By the way, I'll Be Back was Terminator 1984, number 37 on their list.
Wow.
My favorite is Already You Said It.
Oh, okay.
Yo, Adrian, I did it.
Okay. I think it was kind of like that. That was good. Maybe he did say I did it. Yo, Adrian, I did it. Something like that.
Yeah, that's what he says. Yeah.
We'll Always Have Paris, Casablanca, 1942. Oh, and number 44 on the list from 1999, the movie The Sixth Sense. Do you remember what the kid said?
I
see dead people.
I see dead people.
Yeah.
Yes.
Jerry, let's ask for the moon. We have the stars. Now Voyager, 1942. I don't no. Sorry. I probably screwed that up. What movie is this from? It's Alive. It's Alive.
Frankenstein?
1931. Frankenstein. Yep. Houston, we have a problem. Number 50 on the list. That was Apollo 13, 1995. It goes back
That's
to...
more of a historical quote than a movie quote, right?
I guess if it really was said. Wayne says, snap out of it. If I'm correct, that was Cher and Moonstruck, right? I don't know the year of that one. And okay, what movie is it from? Are you ready? You Had Me at Hello.
Is that a Jimmy?
You Had Me at
Jimmy
Hello
Stewart?
was Jerry Maguire, 1996.
Jerry Maguire, that's right. Oh,
Yep.
how could I forget that? That was like an iconic movie when I was in high school.
I'm running out of time. B, and it died. Last week we put liquid paper on a bee, and it died. That's from the movie Step Brothers.
Oh.
Thank you for that, Joe. And Julie says, is You're Killing Me, Smalls, on the list. Is You're Killing Me, Smalls,
Sandlot.
on the list. That was from what movie?
Sandlot.
Sandlot. Okay.
Also, we have here, Don't Mess with the Bull, Young Man, You'll Get the Horns. That's Principal Vernon to John Bender in The Breakfast Club, 1985.
Love The Breakfast Club. That was a great movie. Love that one. And is there one more? You Talking to Me? That was The Taxi Driver, 1976.
Oh, I thought that was
just a lot
East
of
Utica.
there's a lot of really good ones in there. But my favorite will be E.T. Phone Home. That'll be my favorite for the day. I'll be saying that all day long. Got a break. Something we haven't done much this morning of. I apologize. We do have to break. Coming up next hour, a whole bunch to get to, including we're going to talk. I know it gets to be summertime. In Rome, there's Honor America Days, and there's the World Series of Bocce. We'll talk about that coming up next hour. Stand by there. Also, Sheriff Rob Mashel is on. We have a lot to talk about, including the case with the beer bottle, but also how will he handle this migrant situation if it comes to us here in Oneida County, and what his thoughts are of what's happening in Onondaga right now, as they're planning to turn people away. At least they're getting the court to try to help. We'll come back with it. Fox News straight ahead at WIBX.
On behalf of IBEW Local 43 Union Electricians and the NECA Contractors, we are pleased to partner with Syracuse University in providing our members with an opportunity to enhance their education at this great university.
Syracuse University's partnership with the IBEW will provide talented students the opportunity to advance their careers while shaping the future of the electrical trades and the industries they serve.
Central New York's future is bright, and the IBEW Local 43 and NECA will continue to help light, power, and grow Central New York.
From the Stanley Theater Studio, WIBX 950 Utica Rome, W295DI Utica Rome, your news, talk, and sports leader, a Town Square media station.
We need to take immediate action to protect kids now. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. That's what the Surgeon General says today. He's worried about social media, saying its effect on children not yet fully understood.
In a new 19-page report, Surgeon General Dr. Vivek Murthy says social media poses a, quote, profound risk to the mental health of kids and is calling on lawmakers, tech companies, and parents to safeguard against it. The report says about 95% of teens age 13 to 17 and 40% of 8 to 12-year-olds are on social media.
That's Fox's Tanya J. Powers. TikTok is suing the state of Montana over a new law set to go into effect in January that would ban the social media app in the state. Now, TikTok alleges that's a First Amendment violation and claims Montana has no evidence China accesses TikTok user data or manipulates content, though the FBI director has called TikTok a national security concern. Speaking of security, a man driving a U-Haul truck crashed into a barrier outside the White House last night. The Secret Service says it might have been on purpose.
Who was this driver again? Why was it near the White House? Why did it crash into the White House barrier? These are the questions that investigators are trying to determine.
Shamari Stone with Fox 5 in D.C. That driver facing multiple charges, including threatening to kill a president. Hours earlier, President Biden held more talks on raising the debt limit with House Speaker Kevin McCarthy, who demands spending cuts be attached to a borrowing increase.
Common ground could include clawing back unspent COVID funding and reducing red tape on energy production. Still, McCarthy insists no deal can include tax hikes, a key disagreement with President Biden.
Make sure the wealthy pay their fair share. I think revenue matters.
No new meeting is set, but McCarthy expects daily conversations with President Biden, with a debt limit deadline as soon as June 1st.
Fox's Jared Halbert. The U.S. and our allies have given Ukraine billions of dollars in military aid to fight Russia, but NATO's leaders says we have to send more. Jens Stoltenberg calling on them
to ramp up production of weapons and of ammunition.
America's listening to Fox News.
Hey, you've heard me talk about Henry Repeating Arms and their incredible line of 200 rifles and shotguns. This company's owned by a family of true patriots who are so dedicated to our country that all of their products are made in America or they are not made at all. And they're also so loyal to their customers that they provide award-winning customer service. And by the way, they back their firearms with a lifetime warranty. Now, Henry makes a line of tribute edition rifles. You got to check these out. I love them. They honor the unsung heroes who serve our great nation, including active military, veterans, law enforcement, and sheriffs and firefighters and EMS, and so many more. Now, you can check them out for yourself. Go to their website, henryusa.com/tribute. And there's the Henry's Deluxe Engraved Limited Edition rifles that are the crown jewels of any collection. Once an edition sells out, it's gone forever. Go to henryusa.com. You get a free catalog. You get free decals and a list of dealers where you are. That's henryusa.com. Free catalog, free decals, and you're going to love these firearms.
Good morning. We have mostly sunny skies, now 56 degrees. WIBX News Time is 8:03. This news update is brought to you by Clinton Tractor, the leader in service, celebrating 70 years in business, 3 generations and counting. Visit them online at clintontractor.net. Onondaga County filing a lawsuit against New York City in an attempt to stop migrants from being brought to central New York. The town supervisor in Salina, Nick Parro, says he was told over the weekend that a bus with migrants on board would soon be coming upstate to Candlewood Suites Syracuse Airport Hotel. The county's lawsuit claims that New York City only has the authority to house migrants in its own boroughs and not upstate. County Executive Ryan McMahon has already issued an emergency order banning such transfers. A similar order is in place in Oneida County, and coming up in just a few minutes, we'll talk to Oneida County Sheriff Rob Mashiel about this issue and others. A dispute in a vehicle between a driver and his passenger turns physical, and it results in a homeless man being charged with attempted murder. The initial dispute occurred as the two were traveling on Route 49 in Marcy. Remarks from the passenger that were labeled disparaging remarks apparently infuriated the driver, identified as 32-year-old Henry Estuardo Castaneda. He pulled over to confront the passenger. A fight ensued. Authorities say Castaneda pushed the passenger to the ground, choking him and repeatedly hitting him over the head with a beer bottle. He's now charged with second-degree assault and attempted murder in the second degree. The name of a 21-year-old man who was killed in a crash in Oneida County this weekend has been released by state police. Troopers say that Russell Lazarick was traveling on Steuben Valley Road near Post Road in Trenton on Sunday when his vehicle went down an embankment and rolled multiple times. He ended up being ejected from the impact. Anyone who may have witnessed the crash is asked to contact New York State Police. And the New York State Office of General Services is in the process of collecting American flags so they can be properly retired. Worn and tattered flags can be dropped off at locations across the state, and they will be properly disposed of during the Memorial Watchfire at the New York State Fairgrounds. Donations are being collected through Friday. You can find a full list of drop-off spots online through the New York State Office of General Services. Your WIBX Weather Center forecast calling for more sunshine, but a pop-up rain shower is possible this afternoon. Here's what we can expect today.
I'm Eyewitness News Chief Meteorologist Craig Flint in the WIBX Weather Center today. Mainly sunny, warmer, brief passing afternoon shower. Best chance near and south of the Thruway, high of 79. Tonight, partly cloudy, mild, low 57. Tomorrow, mild early, then turning breezy and colder as showers and thunderstorms develop by afternoon. Temperatures falling into the 50s by evening. For more on your local forecast, tune to Eyewitness News at 6 on WUTR. I'm meteorologist Craig Flint on WIBX 950 at 106.9 FM.
Sunshine and 55 degrees at 8:06.
All right, I'm Devin Furpo here with sports, and we're going to get right into it. The Denver Nuggets have punched their ticket to the NBA Finals for the first time ever. The Nuggets came back from a 15-point halftime deficit to take down the Los Angeles Lakers 113-111 in Game 4 of the Western Conference Finals at Crypto.com Arena. Nikola Jokic set an NBA record with his 8th triple-double of his postseason after totaling 30 points, 14 rebounds, and 13 assists to lead Denver to the 4-0 series sweep. LeBron James paced LA with 40 points, 10 boards, and 9 assists in the losing effort. The Nuggets advance to either face the Miami Heat or Boston Celtics in the finals. Miami will host Boston for Game 4 of the Eastern Conference Finals tonight with a chance to sweep. The Panthers are knocking on the door of the Stanley Cup Finals. Florida beat the Hurricanes 1-0 in Sunrise to take a 3-0 lead. In the best-of-7 Eastern Conference Finals series, Sam Reinhart scored the game's only goal on the power play halfway through the second period. Carolina hopes to avoid the sweep in Game 4 from Sunrise on Wednesday. Meanwhile, the Golden Knights are 2 wins away from making the Cup Finals. Vegas aims to take a 3-0 series lead when it faces off against the Stars in Dallas tonight. Back in New York, a pair of divisional rivals from the AL East begin a 3-game series tonight. The New York Yankees are hosting the Baltimore Orioles in the Bronx. The Yanks took 2 out of the 3 games from the Birds, their only other series this season. New York enters tonight's opener on a 4-game winning streak, and it's third in the AL East at 29-20. Baltimore has won each of its last 3 games and is second in the division at 31-16. Garrett Cole is expected to make the start against Kyle Bardish. The Mets hit the road, extending their winning streak to 6 games. New York opens a 3-game series against the Chicago Cubs tonight at Wrigley Field. Right-hander Kodai Senga is expected to get the start for the Mets. He'll be opposed by the Cubs' lefty Drew Simley. New York is currently second in the NL East with a record of 25-23. Chicago is 20-26. This is WIBX News. Time is 8:08 a.m.
All right, nice job. We'll see where the Mets go today. If they can keep this thing going with 5 in a row right now, I don't know. It'd be pretty awesome.
It
Finally turning things around. Man, the movie line's coming in. Hard to believe that boy, if you remember Tom Hanks, when he first came onto the scene, at least that I remember, he was in Bosom Buddies. That was just awful, right? You're like, this guy, what a joker. He's going nowhere. Look where he has, what he has become. Like a legendary actor, but on the list, Number 54 on the list, I think it should be higher. There's no crying in baseball.
Oh, yeah.
Great line, right?
Yeah, that is a great line from
the movie A League of Their Own.
A League of Their Own.
Yeah.
Also, he's got to have a quote from the movie Big in there, right?
I don't know about
I
Big.
can't think of one, but that's
Mom always said life's like a box of chocolates, whatever. However that's
Forrest Gump.
Yeah. Forrest Gump had to have a line.
Had to
right?
have a line, yeah.
But not on this list. Just not on this list. Anyway. So, Ann says, tell WIBX management I am buying a smart TV for my bedroom so I can watch your show. Pretty awesome. Thank you, Ann,
Thank
for
you,
that.
Ann.
The prices have come way down on those TVs. Quick break. We're going to come back with Sheriff Rob Maciel. Before I do that, though, Bill, on the passing of Jim Brown, the legendary Jim Brown. William, good morning.
Yes, good morning, Bill. Jim Brown died the other day. But, ironic thing about it, I was reading, remember Ernie Davis, famous Syracuse player that died of leukemia. Anyway, Jim Brown and Ernie Davis died on the same date, years and years apart. But ironically, it was the same, whatever date was, I'm not sure, but it was the same date.
Yeah, he died when? It was like 3 days ago, 4 days ago. I think it was Friday is when he died.
Yeah, well.
Thursday, he died on Thursday night. Yeah.
Ironic, Ernie Davis, he was drafted by the Cleveland Browns. If he had lived, he would have been playing with Jim Brown on the Cleveland Browns, ironically. So that was something that happened in the past.
Yeah, very sad. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay, Bill.
All right, Bill. Thank you,
Thanks
William. We appreciate the little historic update right there. Got a break. Sheriff Maciel's coming up next. It's 8:11 at WIBX.
At AmeriQ, we know how important it is for your business to run smoothly. After all, your customers mean everything to you. That's why we're here, to connect you with the deposits, loans, and easy cash management tools you need, so you can spend less time managing your finances and more time connecting with your customers. AmeriQ and you. Let's connect. Visit ameriq.org/business to get started. Membership eligibility required. Insured by NCUA.
My doctor told me my cholesterol is borderline, so I took control with Garlic Healthy Cholesterol Formula. Garlic helps maintain healthy cholesterol safely and naturally. It's odor and taste-free, and Garlic is a world leader in garlic potency. I'm taking charge of my cholesterol with Garlic Healthy Cholesterol Formula, cholesterol's natural enemy.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. The term natural references only the garlic in the product. Use as directed.
Inflation is nothing more than legalized theft, because with every new round of money printing, the value of your 401k or IRA is decreased through the dilution of the money supply. Hi, I'm Dr. Ron Paul, and while you can, I highly recommend you consider physical gold for your retirement account. Why? Because gold provides real wealth preservation that can withstand anything. Even better, with a gold IRA from Birch Gold Group, you pay no penalties or taxes when you transfer your current retirement funds. To learn more, text the word HEDGE to 989898. And my friends at Birch Gold Group will send you a free info kit on gold IRAs. Birch Gold is the only gold IRA company I trust, so text HEDGE to 989898 to request your free info kit right now.
Now and for years to come, we're committed to supporting the Mohawk Valley's nonprofit organizations. By investing donor dollars in the community, we're working to create a vibrant region with opportunity for all. Now and forever, we're here to help this community thrive. We are the Community Foundation of Herkimer and Oneida Counties. Learn more at foundationhoc.org. And let's build opportunity for all together.
If you need a tractor that's small but mighty, Clinton Tractor has what you're looking for. The New Holland Workmaster 25S subcompact tractor is economical with deluxe comfort, and the simple 2-pedal operation makes it easy to mow, load, dig, and grade. And qualified buyers can get low-rate financing on a New Holland Workmaster 25S. See them for details or at clintontractor.net.
We are the leader in service, Clinton Tractor.
It's all too obvious. We're being let down by the institutions we used to trust. American families are talking about a future of food shortages, banks failing, society breaking down, and what seems like the setup for the apocalypse. But instead of throwing up their hands, folks are leaning into self-reliance, investing in emergency food storage now more than ever. And My Patriot Supply, the nation's largest emergency preparedness company, has made it easier than ever for you to have peace of mind knowing you're prepared. Go to MyPatriotSupply.com and stock up on their best-selling 3-month emergency food kit. You get tasty breakfasts, lunches, and dinners averaging over 2,000 calories per day. Get at least one food kit for each family member. For a limited time, save $200 plus get free shipping on 3-month emergency food kits at MyPatriotSupply.com. It's time to prepare for what we all know is coming. Go to MyPatriotSupply.com now. MyPatriotSupply.com.
Mountain Man Outdoor Supply is excited to announce the return of the 22nd annual Adirondack Paddle Fest. After a 3-year hiatus, this highly anticipated event will return to Mountain Man Outdoor Supply Company on Route 28 in Old Forge, Saturday and Sunday, June 3rd and 4th. Show hours are 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Saturday and 9 a.m. until 4 p.m. on Sunday. There will be over 3 dozen top manufacturers and more than 1,000 canoes, kayaks, and SUPs from leading manufacturers, as well as hundreds of accessories to choose from. Representatives and designers will be on hand to help you decide what's best for your paddling needs. The wait is over. The Adirondack Paddle Fest is back. Join us Riverside, June 3rd and 4th at Mountain Man Outdoor Supply Company. Come kick off summer at the Adirondack Paddle Fest. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram for all your local outdoor needs.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
All right, and the movie lines just keep coming on in. Let's see. We're going to need a bigger boat. That's come in several times.
I've got
Dana.
one for you. We're going to need a longer show if this continues.
Forrest Gump. Andrew says Forrest Gump is filled with great lines. It is. Stupid is as stupid does.
Yeah.
Life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. You ain't got no legs, Lieutenant Dan.
That's another good one.
That's my boat.
That's my boat.
That's my boat.
I love Lieutenant Dan's responses to Forrest.
I love the fact that Andrew was just nailing these off this morning as he's heading into work.
You know, Andrew's probably got about a dozen quotes from another movie you mentioned this morning, Step Brothers.
I'm sure he does. From Animal House, Greeley, you messed up. You trusted us. That's what I told Town Square when they hired me. And here we are. Good morning, Sheriff Rob Mashel. Good morning.
How's it going?
Good. So let's start with Onondaga.
Sure.
And are you anticipating that we will see buses of migrants coming into this area from New York City?
We have no information as of today that that's going to happen, but I'm assuming at some point in time someone's phone's going to ring somewhere and say that we're coming or we're going to plan to come.
And they, from what I understand, and reading the story from Syracuse, is in New York City they do understand that there are executive emergency orders here, and it doesn't matter. They're still shipping them up.
Right. You know, and it's a little concerning because obviously, you know, I want to put this out there first. As all of us know, I mean, Oneida County is a very welcoming county. We have, when I say we, the county collectively, everybody has proven itself to be welcoming. I can't tell you how many times you just look at the homeless here in our community that we're working with all the time. I mean, the county executive, he opened up the county office building. I had staffing it all night long in the wintertime so that people didn't get cold when all the shelters were full. I mean, we have an issue where, you know, we don't have the services available for the people here that need them because we struggle with that all the time. how do we take more and more and more?
Yeah,
And we certainly, and I think that's the biggest concern here. But obviously the issue with Onondaga, I mean, my colleague, I have not talked to the sheriff out there, but I know that he's come out and said that he's not enforcing this executive order. And again, I don't want to get into that, why that's happening out there. I mean, the county executive here put out his executive order, and it authorizes me to issue appearance tickets if, in fact, hotels, motels, campgrounds take these migrants without an official agreement in place from the county. And in our case, I will enforce his executive order. I mean, when we've been working on this, obviously, for several days, if not 2 weeks, I've sat with him as this executive order was developed. I mean, as you know, the county executive and I, we work together all the time. I mean, I've probably been in his office more the past couple of weeks over this issue than in a while. So we're on the same page here. We are on the same page. There's no questions. We are a welcoming community as long as people are following the process.
Yeah.
And there's a process here, and I don't believe it's being followed as what we're seeing in other communities.
The problem that we have, though, is the federal government is allowing them to enter the United States. Basically, whether they're processing them or handing them we're hearing some of these appearance tickets are dated out into the 2030s,
into years. And let's be honest. I mean, when they're coming in such high volumes, how well are they being processed?
I don't think very well at all.
Talking to colleagues in other parts of the state that have been dealing with a little bit of this issue, I mean, there's little to no information, none at all. And it's all about health and safety, and I think that's the one thing we have to continue to focus on. We want these people to be safe, but we also have an obligation to keep our own people safe at the same time.
Okay, so you will enforce the county executive's order?
If need be, yes. Again, his order, and I think some of my colleagues around the state, their concern is some of their county executive orders were telling the sheriff what they were going to do. This one doesn't. Again, the county exec and I are on the same page. It authorizes me to utilize that ability to make an arrest for the person who is responsible for taking them in. I mean, we're not arresting the migrants. We're arresting the hotel staff, or not staff, but hotel management / ownership if they do, in fact, violate this order and go around it and bring them in without proper authorization.
When we're selecting these places, are they getting a phone call and saying, here's what we're willing to pay, we're going to fill up your hotel, and then the hotel owner says yes? Or is this an emergency order like in wartime where they're taking over the facility whether you like it or not?
From what little third-hand information I've received so far from colleagues around the state, they are surfing, looking for people, but they're also looking for connections to hotels in the city, you know what I mean? Obviously, when someone owns one hotel, typically they own multiple hotels around the state or the country, whatever the case may be, and they are offering significant financial incentives. But again, what happens when the 4 months is up and everyone keeps talking about how Mayor Adams is going to provide the funding? Well, you've got to dish it out up front first and then hope that you get reimbursement. So there's a big difference there when you're talking all the services that you're going to have to provide and then hope for reimbursement at another time. We've seen that before.
And what happens at the end of 4 months?
That's a good question, because whether they're in a SUNY campus or in a hotel, what happens in August 1st when the fall sports players have to come back on campus, or there's major construction going on? There's a lot of concerns. Or the hotel, the hotel where tourist events have been planned, as we know, just what we've seen come to our area recently. People are booking rooms a year out from now.
We're not in
we're not. The point is, we're not set up for this. It's not fair to the migrants who are trying to get to safety and freedom, and it's also not fair to our people here and our businesses here.
All right. We're and we all know this. We're in an area right now where hotels are hard to come by here. We see several weekends throughout the summer and even throughout the winter now with Nexus, where many hotels are booked up.
Exactly. And the one issue here, and this has been bothering me a little bit, so I just want to vent for a second. We go back to COVID when the county executives around the state, and specifically here, our county executive put out executive orders. There were people in this community that were outraged about, he had no authorization to do an executive order, blah, 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 and all this other stuff. Where are those people now?
Yeah.
He's put an executive order out on this issue, but
And now
because
they're
they
okay
agree
with
with
it.
him on the reason for this executive order, to them, this executive order is okay, but the other one wasn't. I mean, I know you've said it before. You can't have it both ways.
Can't have it both ways.
So
Yeah.
it's interesting to hear the silence from
I'm confused about the story from last night, or was it last night or the night before?
It was over the weekend. Saturday night into Sunday.
With the beer bottle attempted murder. What do we know about that case?
So we have two individuals who were in a vehicle. I'm pretty confident that alcohol was a factor. They began to argue, pulled over on the side of 49. Both individuals exited, and the driver, upset over some of the things the passenger had said to him, when they got out of the car, they got into an altercation, and a serious assault occurred, utilizing, obviously, not only beating him, but using a beer bottle to cause significant injury to the victim. Then he left him there on the side of the road and took off. Because a couple of people asked, why didn't you arrest this guy for DWI? We never found him till later in that day. I mean,
Right.
he dumped
We talked about that,
He
yeah.
left the victim on the side of the road, took off, and then obviously passing motorists had seen the individual walking in the road, covered in blood, severe injuries, and there was a pedestrian who had stopped, who was a nurse, and rendered some aid to this person. There was a significant language barrier. There was initially some, parties weren't cooperating. So a lot of factors involved there. We're still learning a lot about this case. There's more to come. We don't know a lot about the individuals involved, but obviously we do have the suspect in custody. He was charged with the attempted murder and the assault second. He is being held. We are working with our federal partners, federal law enforcement partners. I'll leave it at that because we're still trying to learn, where these folks are exactly from, how long they've been here.
So the homeless thing is that they don't have
an address
home
here
here
because they don't have a home here.
Oh,
They've
okay.
been living in temporary quarters, doing some kind of employment. Again, that's all stuff we're working on.
Okay.
And I hope to have more information on that later. But, I know a lot of people have been asking, indirectly, are we connected to what we've been previously talking about? It's too early to tell. I mean, I don't know. But again, that's something that we're working on right now.
Okay. All right. We do have a lot of migrant workers in the
We
area.
do. Absolutely. And
Yeah.
again, when they're here and they're here through the legal process, absolutely. I mean,
Yeah.
whether it be large companies, seasonal workers, we have farm workers, those, I mean, temporary workers, they're actually up in the neighborhood where I live. I mean, they're very friendly people. They've all gone through the legal process. But not everyone has gone through that legal process.
Yeah.
And that's where we have to ensure that things are done right. It goes back to the basics here. We are a welcoming, open community, but there's a process
gotta
that
do it the right
people
way.
have to
Yeah,
follow.
yeah.
And it's pretty simple.
Where this becomes very muddied is when
politics into it.
The politics get thrown in, and the federal government is just pushing them through, and this is a mess. There's no doubt about it.
And again, we don't want to see anyone get hurt, and that's our fear. Nor do we want to see people get sick, or we want to make sure we're giving the proper care to these migrants.
Yeah.
And none of that. It's just being thrust on communities. So I'm hopeful that we don't have to utilize the executive order. But if someone is going to challenge it, then we'll be there to, like I said, to do what we have to do. And I know some of the other counties have gone for an injunction. And again, I don't know the legal plans of what the county executive's office is going to do, but I know that that's something they're discussing and watching what's happening around the state. But we'll see what happens. Here, so.
From the story I read this morning, there are 2 counties where a judge has issued an injunction preventing them from being dropped off.
Yes.
So I'm thinking that Onondaga is going into this feeling confidently.
Exactly. And again, I don't know the details around the hotel that was chosen in Syracuse, but I'm going to guess if you dig into it, there's probably a connection somewhere to
Right. Okay.
Something.
Well, I guess let's stick with this topic first. Lance says, so when Hochul puts them in state facilities, then what? Ridiculous enforcement of an order that is unconstitutional, and then he followed that up with 9 exclamation points.
Well, again, I don't think we can restrict what the state's going to do on state-owned property. We're not talking about that. The executive order doesn't get into state-owned property. It's talking about private And again, they're not. If you read the executive order, it's not stopping it. It's just that they have a process. I mean, you've got to get the permit from the county in order to do this, which is going to require ensuring the proper vetting of the people who are being brought up here. So they're still. It's not saying they're not welcome here. But again, you're going to have the authorization
vetting
in order to do it first.
and funding.
Exactly.
And knowing what the plan is.
Because it's sad. I mean, you drive through our own community, and you talk about it all the time. There are homeless people on our own streets that we work every day to try to get to assistance and programs for, and we struggle with that. So just start throwing 50 or 100 or 150 more people into this. And okay, if they're at a hotel and there's 150 of them, I mean, you can't lock them in there, and it's not like a prison or a jail. So if they don't have money and they don't have services and they don't, so it's just not being planned out like everything else that happens in New York. It's not being properly planned before it's executed.
There's also I feel like people, if they're against this, are automatically being thought of as racist and not welcoming.
Farthest thing from the truth.
But let's not forget about you talk about the homeless or people who are in need of services. There are plenty of services out there that we provide here, but I think there's that working poor that makes just over the limit.
Mm-hmm.
They're working their tails off, and then they look at something like this. And these people are coming in living better than they're living. And you can't blame people for being upset about that.
No, they are upset because, like you said, they work hard and they struggle. And again, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
Unrelated topic. This comes from Lori. Please ask the sheriff what the reasoning is for running radar and making traffic stops in an unmarked car. She says it's unnecessary and dangerous to use unmarked cars in traffic stops. It's actually prohibited in several states. I'm trying to summarize this. This was long. Why can't you run radar and give tickets all day long in a marked vehicle? We've had issues locally where people are impersonating police using unmarked cars to try to pull people over.
All right. Sure. In New York State, it's not illegal to do traffic stops in unmarked cars. Some police agencies have a policy prohibiting that. I think at one time the New York State Police did. I don't know if that still stands or not. There have been a couple instances that I can recall in the past where people have impersonated police officers, and when we found them, we have arrested them. But again, my phone, and this is, you talk about some of the what am I looking for? Quality of life complaints. We get constant complaints from towns and villages around the community about speeding vehicles, whether stop signs and not being enforced, and et cetera. If we're running radar in marked cars, which we do all the time, all our marked cars have radars in them. So when they're patrolling, they're also running speed. But there are times when we have hotspot areas where we have to utilize unmarked cars. I'm not a big fan of it for officer safety, but it is something we have to do with technology today. I mean, the LED lights on unmarked cars are pretty significant, but it's not the perfect situation or perfect way to do traffic stops. But it is a necessary thing in order for us to do speed enforcement. A lot of communities are putting up the license plate reader things or the speed signs where you can actually see your speed.
Yep.
They are a little bit effective. They're great for data compiling.
Yeah.
We use them for compiling data, but we also have people who do crazy things around them, like trying to see how high they can get the number to go on the digital readout when they pass by it. So those things aren't as effective as we thought they would be. So it is something we still have to do, and I get it, but it is something we are authorized to do, and it is part of how we enforce speed.
Can I just say for the record, it doesn't track you when you're running.
Probably not.
I
don't know, though. A big target like me,
Bill.
I mean, I'm pretty big.
Well, maybe I'm too short.
That
maybe
could
that's
be.
it.
That could
might
be.
Maybe you're not running fast enough.
That could also be the problem.
You said why. You said it is necessary to use unmarked vehicles. Is that just the number of vehicles you have?
Let's face it. I mean, if you've got a car with a large light bar on the roof, in our case, a bright white car with bright red lettering all over it, stripes and star on the door, clearly you know it's a police car.
Yeah.
And you're going to slow down. And then when that police car is not there, you're going to drive fast again. So, for the most part, when someone gets a ticket, and it's pretty common, more so in neighborhoods, let's say with stop signs. As people complain about a stop sign not being enforced. It usually takes 1 or 2 tickets, and then the problem goes away for a while.
Can I say that I don't believe, I'm on the thruway a lot, I do not believe New York State Police are using unmarked cars, or at the very least, I haven't seen
not
any
on the throughway. I'm assuming because of officer safety
That
and
could be,
traffic
yeah.
safety, probably more. I mean, I don't know if you've ever been outside the car on the throughway or like standing.
I have. When something goes by, it'll push you.
It'll push you.
The
Just
wind
the thrust
will.
of that going by.
Yeah.
And so again, I'm assuming that's more of a traffic safety thing.
Yeah.
And again, I don't know specifically what neighborhood she'd be referring to, but I probably wouldn't want to be stopping in an unmarked car on the arterial, okay, for that reason. But again, utilizing it on a side road or in a small community would be a little bit different.
I just have to ask one question because we were traveling out near, I guess we were on Route 5. I saw Oneida County and Oneida County police sheriff's patrol car. And I believe it was unmarked, but it wasn't unmarked.
It was ghost lettering.
Yes.
Right. That's ghost lettering.
That was the coolest thing. And by the way, scared the daylights out of me. I was doing the speed limit, but I had no idea until I got on it.
Right.
And then I got to another
angle. Was it nighttime?
Angle.
Was it nighttime?
It was daytime. I got to another angle, and the lettering disappeared.
It disappeared. But it's ghost lettering, and those are our DWI cars. We have two of them. We utilize them for DWI enforcement. That is reflective ghost striping that you're seeing on that car. So at nighttime, so when you're sitting perpendicular to the road, or I should say parallel to the road, you won't see anything.
Yeah.
But when it pulls out perpendicular or when headlights hit it, it lights up. It's reflective striping on there. And again, we utilize it again during the day. It models as an unmarked car.
Yeah.
So.
Very, very, very cool.
I believe you addressed this. Rose says
I didn't say cruel. Very cool. Some would describe it as very cruel.
Rose in Utica says, if they're migrant workers, why are we so quick to identify that man as homeless? Sheriff Maciel mentioned that he may be residing in a hotel, as many migrant workers do. Can you re-explain that?
We can't. Again, these people, the ones we're dealing with in this case, have not been cooperative wholeheartedly with us. So we were confident they're staying in a temporary housing, but we don't know exactly where.
Okay.
So I can't put an address down if I don't know where.
So you're saying more to this story will be coming?
Yes.
Okay. All right, Sheriff Rob Maciel, thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Be safe out there. We'll break. It's 8:35. I want to tell you that as we head into Memorial Day weekend, you'll have a chance to win and kick off the unofficial kickoff of summer. New York Sash is giving away a barbecue grill. It's a Weber grill valued at $675. Plus, if you get into their design and showroom, their design center and their showroom, their idea and design center, you'll be able to take advantage of windows, doors, bathrooms, personally installed, 5-star rated, and save 20% this week, right on through Saturday. Most importantly, let's not forget the true meaning of the holiday, to honor those we have lost who have served this country. New York Sash supports our military and veterans year-round by offering discounts, supporting veteran initiatives, and with their annual Shower for a Soldier bath makeover giveaway. And right now, they're saying thank you with the New York Sash Memorial Day sale. And you can take advantage by going into their showroom, save 20% off, and you could win a free grill along with a flag for attending a parade. By the way, no purchase necessary. It's Memorial Day weekend at New York Sash, all this week at the Idea and Design Center, 349 Oriskany Boulevard in Whitesboro.
One more?
Sure.
Just one more comment before we go to break, because we're going to move on to something else. Migrants are asylum seekers, and as such, they can apply for work authorization after 150 days. New York City's funding covers lodging, health care, service workers, assisting with asylum paperwork during that time. The, quote, what next would be a legal transition to the workforce, building self-sufficiency, and tax revenue. That was a comment that came in.
All right. Sheriff, we appreciate it. Thank you. And we'll break, and it's 8:37 at WIBX.
Hi, I'm Pete from Big Apple Music, and whether it's your home or business, you have a lot invested. In the past, a camera surveillance system was an expensive luxury. Big Apple has now made it affordable. Big Apple is the area's leader when it comes to camera surveillance systems, having installed hundreds locally in homes and businesses. Big Apple is New York State licensed for security and camera surveillance, with most of our products sourced from American companies. Featuring Starlight Night Vision, our cameras dollar for dollar have the best night vision available. A camera surveillance system can offer full property coverage. It prevents and reduces crime, monitors high-risk areas like parking lots and showrooms, and Big Apple has a fully set-up showroom to give you real-time, realistic demonstrations of just how great a camera system can be for you. Stop in and see for yourself at Big Apple Music in New Hartford.
Memorial Day savings are here, and that means time to upgrade for summer. Adirondack Home Furniture is overstocked in every department, so come take advantage of their amazing deals on sofas, dining sets, bedrooms, outdoor poly furniture, and more. Right now, take advantage of their lowest prices of the year on select items, or 4 years, 0% interest financing. Adirondack Home Furniture has a large line of quality USA-made furniture from top manufacturers. Something for every room, any size, inside and out. From modern to farmhouse, rustic to transitional, with free local delivery and a professional, knowledgeable staff, you'll have your dream home in no time. Plus, salespeople are non-commissioned, so you'll enjoy a relaxing, no-pressure experience. Celebrate Memorial Day and save big at Adirondack Home Furniture for living rooms, dining rooms, bedrooms, home office, and patio at their lowest prices of the year. Adirondack Home Furniture, Riverside Center in North Utica, or at AdirondackHomeFurniture.com.
Inflation is nothing more than legalized theft, because with every new round of money printing, the value of your 401k or IRA is decreased through the dilution of the money supply. Hi, I'm Dr. Ron Paul, and while you can, I highly recommend you consider physical gold for your retirement account. Why? Because gold provides real wealth preservation that can withstand anything. Even better, with a gold IRA from Birch Gold Group, you pay no penalties or taxes when you transfer your current retirement funds. To learn more, text the word HEDGE to 989898. And my friends at Birch Gold Group will send you a free info kit on gold IRAs. Birch Gold is the only gold IRA company I trust, so text HEDGE to 989898 to request your free info kit right now.
It's all too obvious. We're being let down by the institutions we used to trust. American families are talking about a future of food shortages, banks failing, society breaking down, and what seems like the setup for the apocalypse. But instead of throwing up their hands, folks are leaning into self-reliance, investing in emergency food storage now more than ever. And My Patriot Supply, the nation's largest emergency preparedness company, has made it easier than ever for you to have peace of mind knowing you're prepared. Go to MyPatriotSupply.com and stock up on their best-selling 3-month emergency food kit. You get tasty breakfasts, lunches, and dinners averaging over 2,000 calories per day. Get at least one food kit for each family member. For a limited time, save $200 plus get free shipping on 3-month emergency food kits at MyPatriotSupply.com. It's time to prepare for what we all know is coming. Go to MyPatriotSupply.com now. MyPatriotSupply.com.
River Hills Properties is the fastest growing real estate company in central New York. Nobody sells homes like River Hills. And when we say that, it is about relieving the stress and increasing the services that are provided. You know, when my wife and I were trying to sell our home, all we wanted was our listing agent to be there whenever the house was shown. And we were told, no, can't do it. In fact, we were told no. But if your house was selling for like $500,000, we would do it as a courtesy. But apparently, we weren't selling for that price, and we didn't get the service. So we looked around, and we interviewed real estate agencies and came upon River Hills Properties. So the beauty is it's kind of like the Aaron Rodgers guaranteed price check. What is that?
The discount double check?
The discount double check, yeah. It's like, I'm like, wow, they're doing this for us. They're going to have the listing agent. River Hills is going to have the listing agent there for us every time the house is shown. And I'm like, wow, thank you for providing this special service to me.
Just for you.
Because I'm special. Turns out we weren't special at all. They do it for everybody. It's you could have you could be selling a $30,000 piece of property, and your listing agent will be there to help show it and guide people through. That's just the River Hills way. It speeds up the process. It allows people to ask questions. If you're showing a home, they know that the lights are on. They're making sure everything is tidied up, that you're putting your best foot forward. It's the River Hills way. Not just because you're special, but they do it for everybody. Tough lesson we had to learn, but it was awesome. We sold our house in under a week. River Hills Properties in Barnabas, Little Falls, and Utica. Online, it's riverhillspropertiesllc.com. Why wouldn't you sell with River Hills? 315-896-1009. Nobody sells homes like River Hills Properties.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
Man, the comments are flowing in today. Wayne's like they're mowing the parkway today. Doesn't look good because the grass gets too high.
Yeah.
When the grass, and you know, yesterday, who was it? It might have been Celeste's friend that said that's because the sun doesn't get down into the grass gets high and it blocks this. It's not about. I don't think it's about the sun. It's about the grass begins to get thicker and thicker. The stalks get bigger. Each blade of grass gets larger, and that root type, stalky type stuff you get is stiff. It's hard. It's not green, and that's what gets mowed. It looks awful. Just saying.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, Wayne, they are, Memorial Day. There's going to be a parade. They're going to want to mow everything up. And I think that today it could be very well part of the problem where maybe they can't find the people. I think they're shorthanded at the DPW in Utica right now.
You know, do they offer that on a contract thing? Because I'll get my little riding mower, and I'll go up and down the parkway. It depends on what they're offering.
There was a guy that I forgot his name, but we talked about him 10 years ago when I first started here.
Yeah.
He had passed away. He used to go around with his chainsaw, the elevated chainsaw on the stick. He'd go around and he'd mow and he'd trim the trees, et cetera, et cetera. And
I cannot remember his name, but I do remember we talked about
at one point they tried to stop him because he wouldn't be under the insurance. And eventually they just let him do his thing. Joe Malachi's made his way in here right now. Joseph, good morning.
Morning, Bill.
All right, who have you brought in? Good morning.
I've brought in Big J.
Big J.
Morning.
Good morning, Bill. Thanks for having me. Good morning. I got to get your mic on there. All right, so let's talk. Summertime. I said you're looking at. We go through Memorial Day. It opens up the door. Before you know it, it'll be the Honor America parade and all of that, and the weekend. You okay? You good? Everybody's good?
We're all set.
All right, good.
I was moving my coffee around here. Got
Fair
a bunch
enough.
of wires.
There are a lot of wires. We're
crazy
filled with wires here. We're very wired.
We got more wires than you have flour.
And then it's the World Series of Bocce.
Yeah.
And you're coming up.
Yeah, I'll tell you, the weather today was very reminiscent of what's to come here. I'm very excited about it.
Yeah.
It's going to be our 48th year of the World Series of Bocce. Last year was our biggest ever, and we're going to try to expand upon it
nice.
this year. So.
And you you bring in people from all over for this.
Oh, yeah. We were just talking. Arizona, Florida, Virginia, Carolinas, Pennsylvania, Connecticut, Ohio, all over.
Yeah.
We'll get probably over 100 men's teams, close to 40 women's teams, if not more.
Wow.
And just people that are interested in the event. And again, it's not just a tournament. It's an event where people come together. There's people that use it as a way to reunite with family and friends that they haven't seen in a while.
Yeah.
They plan their vacations around it to come back to Rome.
There are a lot of class reunions too,
yeah,
right?
It's like a massive class reunion and family reunion and combined. It's
cool.
It's an amazing event. Everybody really looks forward to it.
And you also have a lot of food, really, really good food. And I'm assuming Big J is here for.
Yeah, I cannot wait. Big J is new to the event this year. We had some meetings, and he really blew us away with his enthusiasm. I think when we finally solidified the deal, he stood up and he told us he had goosebumps, and because he's bringing a lot of enthusiasm, excitement, and really terrific food. If you haven't been to Big J's, you are really missing out. So can't wait.
You have how many locations? 2 locations?
So we got 2 locations. We started in Marcy.
Yeah.
We've been open for 3 years. We had 13, 14 employees in Marcy, and we just opened in Rome about 4 months ago.
Yeah.
We got 50 employees.
Wow.
And it's rocking, man. We're grateful to take on the opportunity at the Bocce tournament.
Yeah.
The employees are exciting. I think it's good to have a new look, you know.
Sure.
The other restaurant did a great job there, but I think we're ready to take over the reins.
Okay, and what food are you going to be, what are you planning for?
So we're still putting the menu together, but
Okay.
I think obviously it's going to be a pizza. World Series of Bocce's never seen pizza. They're going to see pizza now.
Okay.
We're going to have Riggies, pasta dishes, burgers, dogs. A lot of traditional stuff.
Nice.
But, yeah, we'll be focused on a lot of stuff.
Okay. You guys will be ready. Go ahead.
If you haven't had a chance yet, your location down here in Marcy, I see you all the time. Giant slices of pizza. They're enormous. And when I went in one time, you were like, you got to try the Riggies, you got to try the Riggies. And your Riggies are great. Better than your Riggies, in my opinion, are the Greens. They're out of this world. I would put them against, I mean, they were phenomenal. I actually went in there and I got my girlfriend chicken Riggies, and I got 2 things of Greens just for myself. They're that good. If you haven't tried them, you got to try them.
Yeah, we'll be doing greens at the World Series of Bocce also.
Nice,
and
nice.
We're going to throw some rice balls in the mix, too.
Oh, that's really good.
Yeah.
Somebody called in the other day, and they had just done a contest in Syracuse about the best burger. It was a New York State contest, and somebody called in and said your burger is the best. That's what I'm hearing. And I was thinking, do you have a burger there?
No, we don't
You
have
don't
a
even
burger.
have a burger there.
No, that'd be the wrong Big J's.
No, it was you. It was.
Cheeseburger pizza.
But they will.
Maybe that's what it
We
was.
make a
Maybe
cheeseburger
that's
pizza.
what it was.
That's very good. No burgers.
Listen, they didn't say Big J's in Herkimer or anything. They said Big J's in Marcy, and they're also in Rome. So it must have been.
Maybe they're prophetic, Bill, because
They may be.
Big J does plan on making a burger for the World
Listen,
Series, so they can come try it there.
It should not just be. It should not just be a regular burger. It should be a botch burger.
Bocce burger,
Yeah,
botch
burger.
very good idea.
Smash burger.
I like it. I like it. All right. What else should people be looking for? The event is what? July
13th through that Sunday, which I think is the 14th and 16th.
Okay, cool.
July 13th.
15th, 16th, 17th, right?
Well, 17th I think is a Monday, so it's July 13th.
He-
So
no,
we
he's-
begin on a Thursday.
He's hanging on Monday.
Yeah.
Come out. and
That's
get
right.
it.
That's right.
We're
That's
hanging it
right.
up.
Yeah. Those that work the World Series, we'll be putting in 15-hour days at
Yeah.
least.
Yeah.
But if you're interested in playing, you go to the2KalanaClub.com. That's our website.
Okay.
Or you can just Google the Tukalana Club, which the spelling is difficult, I know. TOCCOLANA. And we are accepting online applications only this year. So if you're interested in playing, that's the site to go to. It's not just for professional bocce players. We have a lot of teams that have never played before that just want to play in the event and be part of the experience. And we also have a tournament for teams that they may lose their first two games and be out of the big tournament, but we also have a best of the rest tournament, so people can play in that and maybe win some prize money there. So it's a really great time.
From a strategy standpoint, if you haven't played before, you'll be a little bit lost. But it's not like, playing the game isn't like, I'm trying to think of a good example. Playing hockey, you don't have to know how to skate and shoot a puck and everything. I mean, if you can just toss one of the balls out there, you can play. Your strategy and the way you go about it might be a little bit off.
Know how to skate to play hockey.
Well, no, I'm talking about hockey. That's what I'm saying. You don't need a prerequisite ability to be able to play bocce. So you have
That's
men's
true.
teams and a co-ed team? Is it?
So it's an open division. So
Okay.
the open division, if you want to have women on the team, a mixed team, you can. But the women's division, only women can play in the women's division.
Strategy. It's all strategy, man. If you got someone, where the Paulina.
We should have had you put the
got-
headphones on. I just said
You
all
got to
this, but
have
go
the
ahead.
rocket, man. The guy with the rocket to be able to throw a big fast ball and knock the balls away from the Polina. You got to have that guy. You got to have the guy with technique, slow. Kind of
He
like
plays.
that. Kind of like that Olympic sport with the
curling. Yeah, the curling. Yeah.
What's that sound like?
If I only had reverb, I'd make it sound exactly like curling because it's that little echo sound in the arena.
Yeah. So you have thousands in prize money, right? How much does it cost to register, and how much in prize money are we looking at?
$30,000 total is available for prize money. It's $260 to register for a 4-person team. So, and a lot of people they have sponsors that will pay the application fee for the most part.
All right. Big weekend coming up. If you're ready, get ready. The food's going to be great. Anything you want to add, Jay?
It will be. There'll be a lot of sausage and peppers sold that weekend.
Okay. All right.
Absolutely.
All right. You'll be adding a burger to your menu.
We will have a
Bocce
burger.
burger.
At the
All right.
Bocce tournament, we will
All right.
have burgers.
Cool. All right. Thank you.
You didn't ask me about any movie quotes. I got a bunch of them.
What?
Let's go.
What is your? Do you have a favorite movie quote?
Oh well, yeah,
Are you about to do the impression?
Leave
of
the
that?
gun, take the cannolis, right? That's a great one.
That is a good one.
And then, I want my $2 from Better Off Dead. I don't know if you've ever seen that movie. I want my $2. No? May the Force be with you.
May the Force be with you.
That was on the list. That is on the list. What do you have over there?
I said, wasn't that from Star
That
Wars?
was from Star
Yeah.
Wars.
May the Force be with you.
May the Force be with you.
Yeah,
So,
and then the line that everybody screws up is he never says, "Luke, I am your father." He never says that. But somehow we all repeated that. I don't know. Must have been somebody that said it on TV. Okay,
Absolutely.
great stuff. The
All right.
World Series of Bocce.
World Series of Bocce, July 13th through the 16th
Okay.
in Rome.
Thank
Be
you,
there.
guys.
Come join us.
All right.
Where all the fun begins.
All right. Thank you so much. Quick break. We'll come back and wrap it up. I want to tell you, if you're out there this morning, today, into the weekend, and you're thinking about a home improvement project, and it involves flooring, actually, it's right down your way in Sarah's Flooring Outlet, the area's leading flooring store for Pergo Extreme by Mohawk, and, of course, anything when it comes to flooring, the best price. It's the largest selection you're going to find anywhere, and they do have that price guarantee on Pergo Extreme. Sal and everybody over at Sarah's Flooring, ready to take care of you with 6 months interest-free financing going on right now. Check out their website, InSarah'sFlooringOutlet.com. In Sarah's Flooring Outlet, Route 49 Plaza, River Road in Marcy.
Are you in the market for a vehicle that's like new but don't want to break the bank? Look no further than GM certified pre-owned vehicles at Steet Pawnee Chevrolet in Herkimer. With rates as low as 1.9% on select models, you can find new roads without the high price tag. Check out the 2022 Silverado Crew Cab 4x4 with only 3,000 miles, or the 2022 Acadia AT4 all-wheel drive with rates as low as 2.49%. And with a 6-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty and an additional 1-year bumper-to-bumper limited warranty, you can drive with confidence knowing your vehicle is covered. So why wait? Visit us online anytime at SteepPawneeChevy.com to browse our complete inventory and take advantage of these amazing deals. This inventory won't last long. Steet Pawnee Chevrolet on Route 28 in Herkimer. See why it's always easy to do business at Steet Pawnee Chevrolet, your family-owned and operated dealership.
We're here with Rob Hilton of Hilton Estate and Elder Law, our WIBX 950 and 106.9 industry ace. Now, Rob, what if you have a unique situation of parents of young children? What issues do they face?
Well, they, of course, have issues related to who will take care of and raise their children when they die. In addition, they have to have concerns about how the assets are maintained and managed after their death. They need to utilize trusts, and of course, they need to have life insurance to protect their children for future costs.
How do you help blended families in our area?
So blended families face a real unique challenge. How do we make sure that all of the children from both families receive some sort of inheritance? Oftentimes we'll use very special techniques in our wills, or we'll use IRAs or life insurance to make sure they receive an inheritance. They are all very special challenges.
If any of our listeners have questions or concerns, how can they get a hold of you?
Calling 315-624-9600 or email at rkh@hiltonlawny.com.
Hey, it's your radio buddy Jimmy Fallon, and the last time I was up at WIBX with the Keeler Show, when I wasn't shutting down hecklers in the comedy club, I was learning all about Bill and Robin Mongeau and their amazing philosophy of buying and selling homes at River Hills Properties. Folks, when you list your home with River Hills, you're getting an extra level of service it is not available with other agencies. And I, for one, can't imagine having people I don't know wandering through my home when I'm not there. It's bad enough I've got Lincoln throwing his keg parties when I'm on the road. But also, that's the way houses are sold up in Utica, but not with River Hills. Your River Hills listing agent is there every time your house is shown. They turn the lights on, they answer questions, and they make sure no one's going through your medicine cabinet. It happens. Trust me, I've done it to a few people. Not proud. But seriously, list your home with River Hills Properties and reduce your stress level. It's like having a personal assistant to oversee the sale of your home. So why wouldn't you list with River Hills? What the heck's wrong with you? If you're even thinking about selling your home, call my friends at River Hills Properties, serving Utica, Rome, the Valley, and the North Country. Call 315-896-1009. And remember, nobody sells homes like River Hills Properties. Tell them Jimmy Fallon told you to call.
And tickets for Jimmy Fallon, by the way, on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. Do I have that right, Davey?
Right, Bill.
Yeah, we do. Listen, if you're having an upcoming graduation party or an event and you need catering, I do have to say it's a Utica thing. Kitchen and bar is now open with delicious food. They're open Tuesday through Friday, every single day from 4 till 10, Saturday 12 till 10, and Sunday 1 till 8. And for catering, you can call anytime, 315-738-8946. It's a Utica thing, kitchen and bar, a full bar with an expanded menu, everything from steaks and seafood to amazing pastas that are made right on the premises. It's a Utica thing, kitchen and bar. Think about them for your catering event coming up, graduation parties, weddings, whatever. No party is too big, 315-738-8946. And the official coffee of the Keeler in the Morning program is from Daylight Donuts. Chuck, everything from coffee, espresso, lattes, fresh bagels every day, New York style, fresh donuts made on the premises every day. Daylight Donuts with a lightning-fast drive-through. Daylight Donuts in the village of New Hartford. WIBX Utica, Rome. It's 9 o'clock.
He had a Nazi flag in the truck. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. The driver of a U-Haul who rammed into security barriers outside the White House late last night.
Hotels in the area were evacuated as a remote-controlled robot pried open the truck's rear door.
And Fox's Jill Nato reports that's where they found the Nazi flag and a backpack.
D.C. police deemed the truck to be safe. Secret Service sent out a tweet saying none of their personnel or White House staffers were hurt in the incident.
Now, the driver's facing numerous charges, from reckless operation to destruction of property to threatening to kill a president. Hours before that, President Biden held more debt limit talks with House Speaker Kevin McCarthy, who keeps demanding spending cuts be part of any increase in borrowing. But the president says,
we need to cut spending, but here's a disagreement. I think we should be looking at tax loopholes and making sure the wealthy pay their fair share. I think revenue matters.
The negotiations will continue to prevent a June debt default. There are multiple reports 2 sheriff's deputies were shot and wounded a few hours ago in Saratoga County, New York, serving a search warrant for weapons and drugs. The suspected gunman was also injured, hit by return fire. The Surgeon General is worried about social media. Dr. Vivek Murthy, in a new report out today, calls for immediate action to protect kids, warning most teens use social media, and it's a main contributor to depression and anxiety. This as TikTok sues Montana over a looming ban of the app next year.
The social media company says the ban violates the First Amendment, but also that federal law limits states' abilities to enact legislation that interferes with interstate commerce. Attorneys for TikTok write that Montana lawmakers cite no evidence the Chinese government has access to Americans' data through this app.
Fox's Jessica Rosenthal. They're happy in Denver. For the first time, the Nuggets are going to the NBA Finals after completing a sweep of the LA Lakers. Then right after the game, LeBron James hinted at retirement.